been pretty much the trend the last 3 seasons. I know he has his. I know he has a commercial spot, but not a. I haven't. I don't know about the. Okay. Yeah, we haven't had a intro for about 3 seasons in a row, and it's caused a problem every time. So welcome everyone. Start of the 2021 season. Of course, last year's season cut short a little bit in the spring. Not very many games for the Hobbs Eagles, but Coach, tonight the Hobbs Eagles on the road to take on Clovis. Third time in a row on the road. So a lot of fans at Hobbs say, hey, we want to open up a season at home, but this time they're going to have to be back on the road and try to beat this purple squad.
One thing that's nice when you start a season, you get to start a season with a rival, and there's no love lost between these two squads, and they're certainly going to put some helmet on some skin tonight.
Last year's game was pretty close with the Eagles and the Wildcats as they both went down to the wire. Very close ball game, 14-10. The Wildcats win that one. Clovis only up 8-7 at halftime and outscored the Eagles 6-3 in the fourth quarter to win by 4 points. So definitely a big game, and they had a very big-time running back in Webskowski, signed with Colorado State, 56 yards on the ground in that game, and the Hobbs Eagles really held him to some very negative yardage compared to what he normally would get throughout the season.
And certainly that was still early in the season. Hobbs was still trying to find its way, and the Hobbs team started to come together. And we wanted that season to last just because we saw them really starting to get it together midway through that season. It may be a completely different ball game this year because we have such a squad that has more experience coming in.
Eagles finish up 2-3 on the season. Lost their first 3 ball games. Of course, the 14-10 loss to Clovis. Lovington at home, which was an ugly one, 28-25. And then the Carlsbad, 27-21 in the district. But they won their last 2 games. Big one over Artesia, 56-27. And then shut out Oregon Mountain, a.k.a. Oñate, 47-0. So Hobbs, with the last 2 games of the season, 103-27, defeating their opponents.
And, I likened that last season to Coach Stevens' unit squads that when they finally got over the hump and figured out how to win, they kept winning. And I'm hoping that that's a trend that keeps going on with the squad this year.
Yeah, it's something that the last year Coach Stevens, after the end of the season, was saying, I know they don't like to have only 5 games to go on with the varsity program, but you take what you can get. And this year it's been even tougher. I mean, trying to get their 10th game scheduled, had to take a team out of Wichita Falls. They're going to play that in Friendship, Texas later in the season. And their district is down to 4 teams.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do until you do what you want to do.
Yeah, that is true. But if you look at the district this year, Las Cruces High is on the roster there, or on the schedule. You also have teams that we've played in the past. Oregon Mountain is back again, and the team that we beat 47-0, so that's looking good. Carlsbad, up-and-coming team as well. So just some of the squads. Gadsden is now an independent. They don't play them this year, and Mayfield dropped down to the 5A.
It's hard to say what anybody's going to be this year. With the season cut short last year, with a lot of teams having grade issues coming in because of COVID learning, and it really hurt a lot of teams. And then, this year COVID's kind of come back and teams are going to be missing players. It's hard to say what anybody's going to be. And I'd hate to speculate and guess at this point, but you just got to ride with what you got.
Last year's game with this Clovis Wildcat team, although the Eagles did lose 14-10, they out-rushed and out-passed this Wildcat squad 231-123. So definitely good numbers there. Colton Graham, who's back this year at quarterback, 114 yards in the air. He also only had 1 interception in that contest, and he was also the leading rusher with 25 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown, had a long of 36. So definitely having him back as the leader of this team is very important for any squad to have your quarterback coming back. It's going to get you a chance to get your first win.
And I want to say that I would put on Graham's shoulders a lot of the turnaround that we had during last season. When Graham finally settled in, stopped having the turnovers, started just staying in the pocket and doing what he was supposed to do as opposed to trying to do too much, all of a sudden that offense came alive. And so I give kudos to this young man. You watched him improve so much last season. It'll be exciting to see what he does this year.
649 yards in the air from Graham, average of 14.4 yards a catch on his receiving core, 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So definitely something good to build on. Of course, a lot of people graduating from this Hobbs Eagles squad. The whole defensive secondary is going to have to be somebody's got to step up, basically, to take up those slots. But some of the top offensive players are gone as well. So a lot of the receiving corps is going to be replaced in terms of starters.
Yeah. But these are guys that are going to be in the system for a while, too. He's no longer grooming people that doesn't know the way he does things. These are kids that are coming up through his system now that should know his plan, should know what's expected of him, and should be able just to go ahead and fill in roster spots.
Some other people that returned from last year, senior defensive end Blake Hensley led with 71 tackles, 3.5 sacks, a fumble, and a fumble recovery. He's 6'4", 315 pounds. Another big guy that's coming back for the Eagles, Gavin Brumley. Now, he was playing against the Wildcats in that first game last year, had 6 tackles before having a knee injury. They get him back, and definitely is going to be a very big force for them, and he's in the 6-foot range, close to 300 pounds as well. So some big bodies on the field for Hobbs.
Adding somebody to that list is Corbin Thompson. Thompson did such a great job last year really getting after the quarterback and disrupting offenses. I think that he's going to be a big factor.
Outside linebacker Aldo Argot going to lead the troops on the defensive side. 48 tackles last year, 10 solo, 2 sacks, interception, 5 hurries, and 6 drops for losses in the backfield. So he's going to be kind of the general there in the back for the defense.
And it's good to have a leader with that kind of experience and those kind of stats coming back, because you have somebody that understands how the defense is supposed to work and can communicate. It's almost like having another coach on the field.
So 12 returners for the Eagles, 7 on offense, 5 on defense, only 6 total for Clovis. So they're a rebuilding team and young. They're a big squad, though. That's something Hobbs has got to be ready for.
And you know what you usually see with big squads is you see pound it and ground it kind of play, and that's been a staple here in Clovis for a long time. And we're probably going to see a whole lot of that tonight.
They have a 3-2 record from last year. Beat Hobbs in the first game, lost to Cleveland 45-14, lost to Rio Rancho 27-24, then finished up with 2 wins just like the Eagles did, knocking off Carlsbad by 35 points, 55-20, and then Roswell 20-6. So good wrap-up to the season for the Wildcats. They have a returner in terms of the quarterback, Milo Acosta, 38 of 70 in the air for 666 yards. We always know Clovis is more of a running game, but he definitely can throw the ball.
Yeah. And that's the kind of balance they're probably going to look for. You know, they've got the big bodies, they probably feel comfortable on the ground, but if all of a sudden you go through the air and nobody's expecting it, it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, Eagles got to watch out for R.J. Nora, one of their receivers. He had 4 catches for 107 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So not a lot of catches, but when he gets the ball, he's going to try to get in the end zone. And with the new secondary that the Eagles have, they're going to get some young guys stepping up quick in this one.
Yeah, and that kind of growth is where you're going to separate the coaching staff. When you have young squads, how fast they come along really is indicative of the coaching they get and how the young man will take that coaching.
So really, it's kind of a feel-out game of the COVID situation, and in terms of all the different precautions you had to take. They don't have to wear masks out there, neither do the referees in this game. That was the situation last year. They had to do that, and we'll wait to see if that changes as the season goes along. You never know with the rules and things and regulations around the state. But first game of the season, time to feel your personnel to see how they're going to show up on the field. Practice is one thing, Coach. You've been there several times, different programs around 2 states or more. Tell us how you prepare for your first game, especially at this division.
You know, you do what you're going to do. I'm one of those that really thinks that what you do in practice should translate. You should practice situations. You should practice everything you're going to see. I mean, stick with what you do. Don't try to come into the game and do something different and throw things at you that you're not prepared for. Repetitions and falling back on knowing exactly where people are supposed to be and at what time. It's absolutely wonderful when you go into a game because you don't have to second guess what you do.
Of course, when you were coaching, COVID was not an issue. It is going to be for a lot of teams. Eagles still have 82 players in the football program this year, only 55 for Clovis. That's a big discrepancy there, which usually doesn't happen. Wildcats football is usually pretty on top. But Hobbs is without 5 starters tonight due to illness and injuries out there. And one a key one, Tata Trevino, will not start.
And that is a loss. That kid is something else, and he puts his whole heart and soul and all his entire frame on the line when he goes out there, and he's going to be missed.
National anthem starting here in Clovis. We'll take a quick break as the Eagles and the Wildcats go head-to-head. First game of the season back live in 2 minutes.
text us a mic check, please? Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium, where the Clovis Wildcats and the Hobbs Eagles are getting ready to lock horns. About 2 minutes to game time, Ty, and what are your final thoughts as you're getting ready to get it on for this season?
I think a lot of teams around the state, no matter what division you are, just want to get this first game under your belt. I mean, dealing with this COVID madness and players having to stay away from each other as much as possible in a contact sport. You just want to have a chance to use all the skills that you practiced for the last couple of weeks and two-a-days and things of that nature and put it where it really counts on the football field. Of course, these two teams aren't in the same district. They were years ago, but again, this game does matter. A lot of times the playoffs are based on who you've beaten so far or how many points you got beat by. So either you can lose the ball game like they did last year, 14-10, still keep it close. We mentioned, too, that Clovis ranked third in the preseason poll, which I don't think really matters at all to any team at this point. How you play the game is really going to matter here in just about a few minutes.
Yeah, I think we'll know a lot by about 12 minutes into this one. This is going to be one of those games that when the teams come out and start putting helmet on helmet, it'll really define who you are. And we're going to learn a lot about ourselves and a lot of these young kids, especially with 5 starters out and being young. It's going to be a test. And I think Coach Stevens and his crew is going to have a team ready. Let's see what happens tonight.
Eagles, in terms of their backfield, we mentioned Caden Trevino, who did rush in the game last year against Clovis, had 3 carries for 18 yards. He will be out. A couple other guys will have to step up for him in terms of the running game. Diego Baeza will be one of those, and he did look pretty well in the pass receptions there in the warm-up period, so good to see some speed from him. Again, there's going to be a lot of receivers interchanging this offense, usually from the spread look. They'll throw the short ball as much as possible. We saw it from last year. Again, a good mobile quarterback in Colton Graham as well.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I like the Baeza kid. He's a tough kid. He's not going to attempt at all to have any sort of misses out there. He's a kid that he's not going to try to juke you. He might run right through you when he wants to.
In terms of the secondary, when you're having to deal with a whole new squad out there, and it's one that against passing teams like next week, Artesia, you've got to have everything going right. Clovis has been a rushing team, but we saw some yards thrown last year in the air for the quarterback they had before. But this is a guy that has some experience here this year, but you kind of wait and see what kind of offense they're going to provide you.
Yeah, and from season to season, you're not sure what nuances and little kicks they're putting into offenses too. And they may come out with things we've never seen before because they've had another season to work on stuff.
Of course, last year there was not really a championship in the 6A, and the playoffs were kind of like bowl game situations. Again, full schedule for the Eagles, 10 games. So, again, every game is going to matter at this point, and then to 4 games in district as well.
Yeah, and that'll be where you want to be hitting on full cylinders going into the playoffs. So, this right here is a tune-up, and boy, it's an important one because this is a rivalry game.
Clovis is starting quarterback Milo Acosta, did play in 4 games last year and started in 3 of those, so he does have some experience as terms of the quarterback. Angel Chavarria, a running back starter for the Wildcats. He's also a member of the defense at secondary, some of the guys that they're really going to be looking to in this game. And we're getting ready for the kickoff. The Eagles will kick off in their white uniforms, black helmets, and, of course, the purple home squad. And the gray numbers on their uniforms. And we got a lot of sun in our face. Numbers are not sticking out very well. The Eagles uniforms, that lemon-looking number, so it's probably going to take us about a half as soon as that sun comes down for us to make sure we got those number reads for you. But I hate making those excuses first game of the season.
Yeah, but anything on the far side of the field over there, it's hard to see either team's numbers from our vantage point.
And Alan, back at the station, we're having a little bit of an echo effect here. If you could turn down the mics just a bit, appreciate that. As Eagles get ready to kick off from the 40-yard line, we're getting ready for 2021 football here on Cool 95.7 Hobbs Eagles on the radio. Ty Friend along with Coach Brian Coltrane. Here's the kickoff. End over end, a short one. It'll be caught at the 35, brought up the left hash, and to the 40-yard line on a 5-yard return. And so the first carry, a return of the game for the Wildcats, and they will get some good field position to get this one going at the 40-yard line. The return man was Cam Dixon for the Wildcats.
It looked like he just booched that up there, hoping that we had a chance to run under it, or at least hit the guy as he was catching it. Problem is, it didn't hang in the air long enough, and we actually got a little bit of a return out of it.
Eagles will typically start out of a 3-4 defense, move around to a 4-3. Coach Stevens likes to see a lot of aggressiveness in terms of his intensity on defense. Again, the quarterback will be Acosta, and he's going to go with a shotgun to get this one started with a slot left from the 40. Eagles with 4 in the front, man in motion left to right. Acosta going to hand off around the left end, stagger step to the left hash and towards the outside. A couple of pickup on the play, and that'll be Chavarria, the starter we mentioned, Angel Chavarria, and he's going to get about a 1.5 yard gain, make it 2 for the Wildcats in the running game.
And sure enough, you mentioned Gavin Brumley in the pregame. Gavin Brumley was the one that came down the line and made that tackle. Great job funneling it back in from the outside. They kept it clean.
Of course, Brumley, we mentioned, 300-some pounds out there. Definitely is a force to be reckoned with. They had 6 tackles last season against these Wildcats. Second down and 8 from the 42. Split formation backfield. A little movement back there. No flag, back to pass. Waiting for a long time now. Getting a bit flushed down to the pocket. Down behind the 40-yard line is the quarterback, and he is desperately looking for some receivers to get open. Acosta dropped at the original line of scrimmage, so he'll lose 2 yards on that play on the sack.
Brumley and I believe Corbin Thompson that made the play on that one really turned him into an Eagle sandwich before the Clovis Wildcats momentum.
So -2 for the quarterback. And definitely not much he could have done on that one. He stayed back in the pocket for quite a few seconds there, but no receivers getting open. Third down and 10 from the 40 on the left hash. They've got 3 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun going to be to the quarterback, Acosta. Takes a 3-step drop back to the 32, back to pass on the left hash. Lets it out fly on the far sideline. Overthrows his receiver. And that's going to be by about 4 yards towards the far sideline at the 30. No chance for a catch on that one. Both the defender and the receiver just kind of jumped up in the air and just kind of swatted at it and said, oh, no, we're not going to mess with it.
Sure love a 3 and out to start the season on defense. That's a good sign.
So the Eagles getting this thing going pretty well so far defensively, and now they will get a chance for a punt return. Still 0-0 here in the first quarter. And again, 14-10 was the score last year. Clovis winning by 4, just leading by 2 at the half. The Hobbs getting ready and set here. As we're waiting for a long snap for the Wildcats. Low snap off the ground. It'll be kicked from the 30 left hash. End over end. It's going to go back to the 15-yard line. Caught and roll around to the right side for the Eagles. Going across the 30, down to the 35, and out the 38-yard line. And it looks like we might have a flag on the return that time. We'll double check to see. And we're kind of hesitating on the numbers. It's almost impossible with the sun glare on these gold numbers for the Hobbs Eagles.
And I think a little bit of a hold there on the return. One that actually sprung that nice little kick at the end. Kind of has both hands on the jersey. That might be something that counts against him.
Having some issues with our blinds here. Is our video camera and sun right in the face now, as we will try to get that adjusted for you watching on YouTube. They call the 10-yard holding penalty, as Coach mentioned, so -10 for the Eagles' first penalty of the ball game. So Hobbs will get it at the 20-yard line, as they'll start from the right hash on their first offensive possession of the ball game. At quarterback, Colton Graham. As they take a look at their wristbands here, he's going back to shotgun already. On his left shoulder is Baeza. Trips left, receiver right from the 20. First and 10. Long snap count, 2-step drop for Graham. Stutter step, he's going to step up in the pocket, roll right to the 20, 25, 30, 35. Still tiptoeing down the sidelines, far side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. And he's going to get out, looks like going to mark it. Oh, they're going to say was he way back behind where I thought he might get marked down. Went from the 20 to the 36-yard line, so that's a 16-yard pickup, though, for Graham.
Watching how Clovis is covering our trips on the near side, that bubble screen to the near side is going to be there all game long.
So we got a first down on that one already for the Eagles on the right hash at the 31-yard line. First and 10 for the Eagles. Split formation backfield, twins on the right, single receiver left. I'm going to shift some more guys out of the backfield to make it trips left. 2 on the right side is Graham by himself. Back at the 30 waiting for the shotgun. Oh, we got a lineman on the left side falling over on his three-point stance. He could not keep his balance that time. And he's kind of shaking his helmet after that one. He knew he's kind of messing up the play on that one, kind of slapping his chest that, hey, that's on me.
Yeah, you can't really hide that one.
Trying to get the number read on that. And, again, we have had some serious sun issues,
like
right?
68 is what I'm seeing. That would have been Joshua Ray, 6'3" offensive lineman.
Yeah, we've got about 3 guys in the 6'3", 6'5" range, all pushing about 300 pounds. So a 5-yard penalty for the Eagles. 2 penalties for 15, 1 on the return. 1st and 15 from the 30-yard line. Again, 2 receivers shifting left, 2 to the right side. Shotgun for Graham back at the 25. 2-step drop, steps up, fires down the middle. Post route caught at the 50-yard line and a somersault after the catch. That will be a first down and then some. 18 yards for the Eagles. And we'll move the chains as well.
And it was nice seeing him staying in the pocket like that and unloading. It looked like that was number 8. That would be Corbin Thompson.
So 18 yards for Thompson. That'll move the chains for the Eagles. They're second in the ball game. 1st and 10 now from the 49. Man in motion to the left side. Trips. Going to hand the ball off around the right end of the 40. And crashing around is Baeza as he will get out for about a 2-yard pickup on the forward progress. The Clovis defense swarming outside the left hash towards the Eagles sideline, heading right.
And that's one of them bread and butter plays that you go to just to make sure the defense stays honest. You go outside a couple of times, you come across the middle of a nice pass. Sometimes you just got to grind it, and that play was what you're doing there.
3-yard pickup now at the 46-yard line of the Wildcats. Twins left and right, and a shotgun. Graham taking his time, stop and throws a quick shot over to the far sideline, caught at the 48. Little juke move and out to the 43-yard line of the Wildcats.
And in this offense, that's almost like a run. I mean, it's just a little screen on the outside. You dump it off. It's a very safe play. It's a very safe pass, and it works for 5 yards.
Kirkendall on the catch for the Eagles that time, gets the 5. Eagles with 2 receptions for 23 yards.
And Colton Graham's looking very, very comfortable back there.
3rd down, a long 2.5 now for the Eagles at the Wildcats' 43-yard line. Twins left and right. A big jump on the defensive line by Clovis. And see if maybe the Eagles might have flinched just a bit. Looks like they're starting to mark it off towards the purple squad, and that will be the offside penalty against the purple. First penalty for the Clovis Wildcats now at the 37-yard line. It'll be another Eagle first down with the penalty 8 on that one. Ball marked on the right hash. Eagles will send 2 receivers left and right. Delay handoff coming around the left end to the 35. Baeza blocked off another tackler there to the 30-yard line. And he's going to get, it's Corbin Thompson actually that time, as that will move him ahead for about 7 yards. So Corbin Thompson, of course, the guy you mentioned in the pregame show. Going to give him 6 instead.
I've seen the carry for a number 6, but trying to figure out who that was on my roster here.
2nd down and 3 now from the 20. You make it the 30-yard line. Shotgun back to pass is Graham. He's going to throw the out route. Ball is caught at the 26-yard line and spun around. It's James Moore. And it looks like Moore is going to get it up for the first down, give him 3 yards on the reception, and that will move the chains for the Eagles.
Offenses look good. No big plays so far. Nothing real fancy, but they're grinding. And I think that's Royal back there in the backfield with Colton Graham running the ball, that Gianni Royal, a 5'9" senior running back.
3 catches for 26, a quick out route, comeback route at the 20-yard line. Catches made, and a nice back pedal to get down towards the first down marker. And that's Kirkendall with a 9-yard pickup for the Eagles. So they're continuing that short passing game, working well.
And what I loved about that play is he knew where he was the whole time. He turned, the hands were right where it needed to be. Great job running the route by the receiver.
They're going to give him 8 as he backed out of bounds. That's 13 yards for Kirkendall on 2 catches. 2nd down, a long 1, a stoppage of the action here. It looks like an equipment timeout as they get something readjusted on the field. 2nd down, a long 1, as I mentioned, at the 17-yard line. The Eagles knocking at the door early here in the first quarter with the 7:20 mark. Still scoreless. Shotgun. Going to go with the fake draw. Taking around the left end goes the quarterback. Graham breaks the tackle. 15, 10, 5. Stretches it out towards the left pylon, but he's drug out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So that's going to be 17 yards for the quarterback, Colton Graham. He's got 2 carries now for 33 and some nice blocking around that left end. A good fake up the middle on the draw.
And you know, it was a design read. That quarterback was reading the tackle. The tackle dropped down. He just replaced him and took off running.
4th first down now from the 1-yard line. Shotgun is high and hands it off up the gut. But kind of a juggle in the air on that shotgun, so that took a little bit of time for the handoff to get made. That was Royal, and he gets stopped. Looks like he might have lost a yard on the play. You can't fault him for it. He was just waiting for the ball to be tucked into his gut.
What I liked about that is when Royal got it, he didn't try to get fancy with it. He knew he was under pressure. He just got his head down and went forward.
Split field back for the Eagles. High snap. Graham's going to tuck it, try to head right on the angle, and is get dropped down at the 1-yard line. Did he get enough momentum? Maybe he got across that goal line. Wait to see. Eagles front line is all putting their hands up in touchdown signals, but wait for the zebra to do that for the Eagles.
And they're going to place it right about the 2-inch line.
And maybe a half-yard gain there for Colton Graham. Give him a yard. So 3 carries for 34 now for Graham. As we get ready for another play for the Eagles. Trying to get the first score with twins left and right. Now we're going to send trips to the right side, and underneath the center will be Graham near the goal line. Takes the ball, heads right, puts his body forward, and the touchdown. Wait, nowhere to wait for a signal. Looked like he got across that plane, and yes, he did get it. So a half-yard score for Colton Graham. Of course, he had the rushing touchdown last year against these Clovis Wildcats.
Yeah, and that is the way to start right there. First offensive series, and you just ram it down there, throw 3, 5 yards, 8 yards here. That was a beautiful drive.
So that's going to be 6 points for the Eagles here in the first quarter as we wait the PAT. Hobbs and Clovis here on the road for the 3rd season in a row, and long snap count, hard count here for the Eagles. And the kick is going to be up, and it is just inside the left upright, good for Hobbs. So they get the lead to 7-0 here in this first quarter of action. The Eagles on the road live here on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.com. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Hey, Alan, we have no volume on YouTube. I don't know what to do about it.
We might have just figured it out.
Just come on back on this spot. Back live here in Clovis, your Eagles lead 7-0 after a 1-yard run for Colton Graham in the PAT. Connor Lawson returning for the Wildcats, going backwards back to the 37 as he's brought down by Nate Cerceris on the coverage team for the Eagles. So it'll be Clovis football, 1st and 10 from their own 37. Their first series, they started at the 40, but the good defensive showing for the Eagles to put them down quickly.
You know, they really started the season very strongly. It looks like that we're doing really solid work up front for the linemen.
I sure hope that sun gets down behind the horizon quickly. Shotgun, the handoff up the middle, stutter step across the 40, up the gut. And that will be a 6-yard pickup for the Wildcats, just on a give to Angel Chavarria. They're going to make it more of a 5-yard gain on that play. And he's got 2 carries for 7 yards so far for the Purple squad, now at the 42-yard line.
Clovis looking to try to get something going here. I'm sure the faithful right here are not very happy that they're trailing by 7.
2nd down and 5 now from the 42-yard line of the Wildcats. Eagles up by the 7. 2 receivers right, single left. Eagles with a 4-man front on the defense. Long delay here for the snap for Acosta. He sends a man in motion from right to left. Low snap. Handoff in the backfield. Eagles snip it out, and they're going to drop the quarterback. He tried to fake hand to the left and ends up taking a major sack in the backfield. And he's going to lose about at least 3 yards on the play.
And it didn't matter what read he made, whether he handed that off or kept it, that was going to be negative yardage.
And the big play for the Eagles on the sack in the backfield that time was Isaiah Montez. They're going to say a -2 for the quarterback. As Acosta now -4 has been dropped 2 times. Ball back at the 38, 3rd down and 9 now. Hobbs up 7-0. Twins right, receiver left. Waiting for the shotgun is Acosta. He has a man with him in the left side in the backfield. Takes a snap, handoff up the middle. It's going to be Chavarria trying to backpedal his way across the 40 and falls ahead for a few more yards. Make it 4 for Chavarria, his 3rd carry for 11 yards.
That brings up a 4th and 6 situation, and they're going to probably try to punt this away here, but at some point they're going to start thinking, oh my gosh, we're getting behind, we might have to go for it.
Yeah, this will be their 2nd punt of the ball game. The Eagles took advantage of their first series offensively and scoring off a 1-yard run for Colton Graham. As we've got 4:08 left here in the first quarter, 7-0 Eagles. Long delay here as the Wildcats trying to get their right unit out there. Late sub-checking on the field, Joseph Walker. He's a sophomore. And they're trying to switch out with the receiver on the left side, cross the field. Still waiting for the snap for the punt. You're getting close to the clock expiring. Rolls on the ground, able to pick it up and fire off from the 31. It'll be a high one down to the 24. Bounces off the field. It might have been touched by an Eagle. Clovis trying to scoop it up there at the sideline. Let's see if the official says it was touched or not. And they're calling it dead out of bounds, but no official signal yet. And Clovis staff right here on the near sideline putting their hands in there, want to know which direction it's going to go. I think they might have said it was touched by the Eagle. They're going to have a conference now, are the referees. Still didn't see a sideline official signaling of the Eagles fumbling that one off the hand. It did hit the ground, but the big question is whether it hit an Eagle as well.
Yeah, they're trying to figure that out. I mean, you can't let that drop in front of you, because once that ball hits the ground, it's like a wet ramen noodle. It just slaps around wherever it wants to go.
Now the sun is on the other side of the stadium, so it's not right in the face of the return people for the Eagles, and they're going to go back and re-punt. Was there a flag? Yeah, there is a flag way back at the 40-yard line on the other side of the field on the left side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. So we'll have to see the signal. We got a false start on the Wildcats, and that's a play that you have to stop at the line of scrimmage. You don't let the punt even happen in that case.
Yep. And I've wondered that for a couple of years. I keep seeing this happen over and over again in New Mexico, where you have false starts and they still play the play.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do it. Now, an illegal motion or something like that's different. You let the play go, but that time it should have been stopped. And that causes all the confusion now. Do we have a fumble? Do we have a recovery? And a lot of coaches looking and asking. And so definitely that would have been better just to stop the play when it happened at the line of scrimmage. It looks like now a timeout, and we've got a bunch of Clovis coaches not too happy. They're storming onto the field. They want to talk to their crew. And we will take a break as well. 3:41 remaining here in the first quarter. Eagles up 7-0 over the home team Wildcats. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
We're clear. And 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Clovis Stadium, and another fumble for the Eagles on the repunt. We had a timeout after a penalty called on the Wildcats for a procedure, and the Eagles fumble another one on the near sideline. I'm not sure if the sun's an issue out there or what, Coach, but there's been some problems on the punt returns.
Yeah, you got to catch that thing first before you can run with it. And plain and simple, you got to have it in your hands. He looks like he's trying to reach for it and still letting it come into his body.
I believe that was Nate Cerceris on that one. Still having some trouble with these numbers in the sun, but 25-yard line is where Clovis will recover in Hobbs Eagle territory at the right hash. So almost given a gift wrap here, and the Eagles going to have to put their defense back out on the field again after just getting off seconds ago. They caused 2 punts so far, but the coverage is causing a problem, especially on this last series. First and 10 for the Wildcats at the 25.
We already already have a flag before they even set in place. Back judge back there tosses
delay game. They took too much time, and that will be a 10 or 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats. Third penalty now, 15 total against the Purple squad. Although the Eagles lead 7-0 here with 3:33 left first quarter. Back it up to the 30-yard line on the right hash. 1st and 15. Got 2 in the backfield, including the quarterback. That's a coast up, and Chavarria on his right shoulder. 3-step drop off the shotgun. He wants to fire it over the shoulder in the left corner. There's a receiver there, but the Eagles get a good punch on the defense, about 3 yards deep into the left side of the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Nice shoulder-to-shoulder coverage for the Eagles at that cornerback on the far side.
And I loved how he went up and he covered both hands and his eyes as he's running with the receiver. That was just great coverage out there from the defensive back. And trying to get a number for you on there, I can't tell. It looks like a 13, but I can't really tell.
That'll bring up a 2nd down and 15 now for the Wildcats on the right hash. Clock's down to 3:27 left first quarter. Single receiver left, 2 on the right side. And holding on the snap count is Acosta. Brings another man in motion. He'll flip it around the left end. Heading out far left is Walker. Gets strung out and dropped behind the 30-yard line. He's going to lose about a yard. Don't think he's going to get any forward progress on that one as the Eagles, 2 in the backfield, take him down. And they're going to say he got back.
And the safety came up to make that play. Did a great job of staying outside of where he was trying to run to and making the play coming back in. If the guy would have made a cut inward, he had help. I tell you what, that is outside-in football. That's what you want to be doing right there.
-1 there for Walker back at the 31-yard line. 2nd down or make it 3rd and 16 from the left hash. 3 receivers heading to the right in front of the Clovis bench. 1 on the left side in front of the Hobbs Eagles side of the field. And shotgun now for Acosta. Back to pass, 3-step drop at the 38. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket up the middle. 30, puts his head down, spins at the 25, and a big pileup for the Hobbs Eagles. Trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to be a 6-yard pickup to the middle of the field now. That's it for Acosta. That's his first positive run of the game. He's 3 carries for 2 yards overall. He was dropped in the backfield twice by the Hobbs Eagle defense.
And every possession Clovis has had on 4th down, they've been at the original place they started for the first down. So no net gain for them at all so far this game.
2:08 remaining here in the first, counting down as the Eagles lead 7-0. 4th down and 10 now for the Wildcats. And for those of you listening on YouTube, got the audio working finally. Twins left and right. Costa gets a hard snap count. Fakes the handoff up the middle. Fires down the middle on the seam route. Eagles jump high in the air. Almost an interception at the 5-yard line. What an acrobatic move there for the deep left cornerback for the Eagles. I believe that was James Moore that got up high in the air. He got flipped around and somersaulted to the ground. And it looked like he had picked it off, but hits the ground hard, and that was a beautiful attempt at an INT.
And he was actually lucky he didn't pick it off. We ended up netting a whole bunch of yards going back to the original line of scrimmage there. Great defensive play for the Eagles, and, boy, they have looked good defensively thus far this game.
So Hobbs will take over for the 3rd time in the contest thanks to the defense. If we can just get the punt returns working, it would be 100% effective. But we got a downed Clovis player now. I think that was the receiver that was going out for that seam route. He was also the guy that the fake handoff came to in the backfield, so he was heading out. I believe that's Chavarria. As they'll take an official timeout. We'll take one as well. 1:47 left here in the first. Hobbs up 7-0 over Clovis. We'll be back in 60 seconds on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You're clear. $30. $10. 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Back here in Clovis, Corbin Thompson got a carry around the right end as he gets for 9 yards out to the far sideline at the 34. So Thompson now with his first carry of the ball game. 2nd down and 1 for the Eagles on the right hash, leading 7-0 with 1:15 left here in the first. Twins right, 2 to the left side as they go with the handoff up the middle, and Baeza just powering ahead, physical up the right hash. Finds a wall, though, near the first down marker. Looks like going to go ahead and give it to him, the first down pickup for the Eagles.
And that's what I was talking about pregame. Baeza is not going to try to make you miss. He just carried a couple of Clovis defenders across that line for the first down.
Eagles 5 first downs, none for Clovis. They've really had trouble moving the football against the Eagle defense. Hobbs now 1st and 10 from their own 36 hash side. Twins right and left. Graham's going to fire the out route to the 40 and then thrown down behind the 40-yard line. Looks like they'll give him the forward progress to the 40, so it will be about a 3-yard pickup on that far sideline.
Good job. Nice little throw and catch there. Nothing fancy, but did what they have to do. I would love to see trips on this side and come to the bubble just to see what's there. Clovis was playing way off of the first possession. I'd love to see him try to come back to it.
That was a 4-yard pickup for Kirkendall. He's got 3 catches for 17 yards. Eagles are perfect right now, 4 for 4 in the passing game. 2nd down and 6 from the 40. And they'll give the little handoff to the right side hash and driving ahead to the 45-yard line. About a yard and a half, possibly 2 on the pickup there on the right angle play.
Nice little double G power there. They pulled both guards and kicked them out on the end right there. Had a nice little gap to run through.
That's Baeza who gets about the yard and a half on that one. So he is the start. That will run out the first quarter clock as well. 6 yards on the ground for Baeza on 3 carries. Hobbs leading 7-0 after a 1-yard touchdown run for the quarterback Colton Graham. We'll head to the second. Eagles edging near midfield. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Football on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
And you're clear.
support you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
30. Five, 4, 3, 2, go.
Welcome back. We're in Clovis. 7-0. Hobbs leads at the end of the first quarter, and the Hobbs offense has got the ball again and been pushing up the field. Here's Ty Friend with the call.
3rd down and 9 for the Eagles. Or make it 3rd and 1, looking the wrong way on the field here at the right hash at their own 45.5. Twins left and right. Colton Graham in the shotgun. Good snap. Delay handoff up the gut, and that will be enough for the first down to the right hash, but there's a late flag on the play. It looks like that might be a hold, as a lot of guys were trying to push forward their running back that time. And that was Baeza that had the football, but I think this might be coming back. That would have been good for, looks like they gave him about 5 yards up to the Clovis territory at the 49 hash mark.
Now they're pointing at a Clovis player as they're talking. Face mask.
That's a 6-yard gain. Yep, that's going to be a face mask. We'll see if it's a 5 or 15-yard variety penalty there. So 6 for Baeza. He's got 12 yards on 4 carries, a 3-yard at pop. Only going to give a 5-yard penalty on the incidental face mask. So 4 penalties for 20 yards for the Wildcats. Again, knocking at the door. The Eagles now in purple territory. 1st and 10 from the 44, right side. Twins left and right. Man in motion to the right to left. They're going to go with a quick screen to the left side. Caught at the 50, 45, 40, angling to the 35, far sideline, down to the 32-yard line. It's going to be a 12-yard pickup for the Eagles. A little dump over to the left side of the field towards the Hobbs Eagle bench.
And I don't think we've had an incomplete pass thus far in this game.
So Eagles starting to move those chains quite frequently. That reception was for Ethan Van Landingham. That's his first of the ball game. He's got 12 on that one. 6 for 6 in the passing game for the Eagles. And that's a total now of 50 yards in the air. And that's the 6th first down. 0 for Clovis. Shotgun back to Graham at the 36. The out route throwing it behind his receiver at the 25-yard line. Receiver might have kind of dove down a little bit too quickly, had his body completely sprawled out, put his body on the line that time, but I think maybe he dove a little bit too quick.
Yeah, the throw was a little bit outside him. He had to try to extend out for it, I just don't think that was going to be a very easy play for the receiver to make there. It happens, but I feel like I jinxed him. We just said they were perfect, and next one was incomplete.
Yeah, 6 of 7 now are the Eagles in the passing game. I believe that was Silas Cerna out there. Again, the sun is just barely going behind the horizon now, so it should help us out on the numbers just a bit. 2nd down and 10 now from the Eagles, or the Clovis 33. The handoff coming around the right end and going down on the knee and getting squashed at the last second. 4 purple jerseys here on the right hash. He was coming across the field from left to right. And Baez is not a happy camper. I don't think – did he barely get back to the original line of scrimmage on that carry?
Yeah, he saw what I saw right there. He got a good block on the backside. If he'd have cut back, he'd have had an open lane. He realized it a step too late, and that's why he was kind of hopping up a little bit excited there.
He got a little bit of a liberal bias on the or on terms of the forward progress, give him 1 yard on that one. So all positive yardage so far. 3rd down and 9 from the 32. Rolling left is Graham. He wants to throw. He'll throw it out in the long out route. There's a penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. A catch made at the 10, 5, touchdown, and we got a penalty marker, 2 of them back at the 30. So I think we're going to have to rewind on that one and bring it on back on YouTube, unfortunately for the Eagles.
Yeah, and he's flashing the number over there at the coach. That's usually a sign it's on us.
So Hobbs would be up 13-0 without those 2 handkerchiefs near the 30 and 25-yard line, about the left hash where a lot of the activity was happening. We do have this official, what is he doing with all these? Legal man downfield is the penalty call. So I think maybe there was 2 penalties. I think I saw the hold first, and then he patted his helmet or his hat. So let's see how many yards they put it back, 10? Yeah,
looks like 12.
Yeah, so we'll go with the hold, I guess, on the original, and then possibly a legal man downfield as well. Unfortunately, going to bring it back for the Eagles. So that's going to bring up a lot of yards now. 3rd down and about 16, or make it 19. As the Eagles all looking on the sideline to get the call from the Coach Stevens. 10:43 left, 2nd quarter. Hobbs up 7-0. Would have been 13 without the penalties. They're at the 42 of the Wildcats. Shotgun to Graham, back of the 50-yard line. 3-step drop. He's getting chased from behind, breaks away from 1 tackle, heading the near sideline right, throws an out route right in the numbers at the 25, and the catch is made.
Maybe just short of the 1st down, but it's going to be close enough that you can really go for it in this territory.
And there's another big catch there for the Eagles receiver, Easton Kirkendall. They had it down as 3rd and 20. We're going to see how many they give him on that one. Looks like about
18.
Yeah, 18 for Kirkendall. So he's had 4 catches for 35 yards, leading the squad in receptions. They're 6 of 8 now in the passing game.
And here's where you go with the hard snap count, try to draw them off sides and get a free 1st down.
7 of 8. Shotgun for Graham, 4th and 2 from the 24. And we got a penalty mark on the line of scrimmage, a little flinch action going on, and it looks like they're looking towards the Hobbs Eagle line, but we'll make double check on the call here. Yes, false start for the Eagles. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and that gets you out of an easier 1st down pickup and probably different decision possibly for Coach Stevens now.
Yeah, he went with the freeze there. He was trying to get him a jump, but unfortunately you can't twitch on the hard count yourself.
4 penalties now for 30 yards against the Eagles, and that will back it up to the 29.2-yard line. Clock is down to 10:25, and now we got a line up here. Eagles 4th down and 7. Twins left and right, shotgun, Graham. He's going to fire a comeback route to the 30 left side, breaking 1 tackle and then trying to lunge forward to the 25, well short of the 1st down. And that'll be about a 5-yard pickup, but not much more than that. They needed to get about 7 or 8.
It was a good call. It gave him a chance to make a play there. Clovis did their job, made the tackle.
And try to get the number on that. We'll see if we can pull that down here in just a minute. Apologize, still battling some lighting issues down on the field, and that doesn't help when you have yellow numbers in the lemon variety there. But a 5-yard gain on that catch regardless. Clock down to 9:57, and Clovis regains the ball after turnover on possessions. So Wildcats will line up at their own 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Twins left and right for Acosta. It's been a long time since they've had the ball. He's by himself in the backfield, slapping his hands, and we got a procedure call against the purple squad as the linesman on the far side and from the Hobbs Eagle bench. So there might have been a little jump on the line, so a 5-yard penalty for the Wildcats. That is their 5th for 25 yards.
Interesting formation. You got a tight end and 4 wide receivers, nobody in the backfield there.
1st down at 15 now from the 20 on the right hash. Once again, Acosta in the backfield waiting for the snap. Has a pair of receivers both sides. Oh, the ball doesn't get back to him, and the receiver's out in their routes. So something happened at that center mark there that the ball got stuck or whatever. Maybe got the wrong snap count. So you had 4 receivers heading out for patterns, and no ball coming back to Acosta behind the line.
And you know they have to be frustrated. You get the ball back and get a nice stop, then you march back 10 yards quickly, and you're putting yourself in territory where you don't want to drop back too far. There may be a safety in your future.
30 yards and penalties now for the Wildcats, and we're just in the second quarter. Clock ticking at 8:40. Hobbs up 7-zip. Ball back at the 15-yard line on the right hash. First down and 20 now for Clovis. And now we got a stoppage of action. The Wildcats are having major problems with communications out there. They're going to call the timeout and talk to themselves for just a minute. 8:20 left here in this second quarter. Hobbs up 7-0 over the Wildcats. We'll come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. And you have 20 remaining from right now. Five, 4, 3, 2, go.
Welcome back. 7-0 your score. 8:10 remaining here in the second period. The Hobbs Eagles defense has got Clovis pinned back all the way on their 15-yard line. And looks like right now things are going well for Hobbs here in the first half.
And kind of going the other direction for Clovis. They had 2 penalties back-to-back for 10 total, and just things just not working properly. Called the timeout, try to get themselves settled down just a bit. A lot of young players on this team, only 6 returning starters for the whole Clovis squad. They only have 55 guys out for football this year, which is well below their numbers usually. First down and 20 from the 15. Couple of hand slaps for Acosta. He's going to hand the ball up the middle and kind of dancing around a little bit up the right hash to the 20, down to the 22, trying to get back some of the penalty yardage that time was the tailback Angel Chavarria. Let's see how much of that penalty yards he does get. It looks like about 6. So Chavarria, in terms of rushing, 4 so far for 17 yards.
Linebacking core for Hobbs ended up having to come off the backside to make that play.
Second down and 14 now for the Wildcats at their own 21. They trail 7-0, split formation backfield. They bring a slot man in motion, left to right, receivers left and right as well. Hand off to Chavarria up the middle with the ankle. He gets nailed hard right in the gut with the helmet and is dropped. I don't think they're going to give him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage up the middle that time, but he took a complete battering ram in his gut.
And that was number 42, Kenyon Singleton, laying the lick on there, and I think he'll fill that one in the morning.
-1 for Chavarria. Actually, they might have given him forward progress, so let's just say 0 on that one for Chavarria. Third down and about 11 now from the 24-yard line.
And Singleton redirected his motion very quickly on that one. That was a nice lick.
7:10 remaining here in the second. Eagles up 7-0. Clovis will send 2 receivers left, one to the right side, and split backfield in the middle of the backers. Now they're going to switch up the 2 running backs in the backfield, switching shoulders of their quarterback. Acosta takes the snap, 2-step drop out of the shotgun, flushed out of the pocket, rolling right to the 20, extends to the far sideline, pump fake, and drills a shot to the 40 on the out route. That's a great job for the receiver to follow his quarterback to the sideline that time. And that will be about a 16, make it a 14-yard pickup for the Wildcats and a first down.
And Clovis better be careful. Their quarterback was on the sideline taunting somebody on the sidelines before running back onto the field.
14-yard pickup for Cox. First down for the Wildcats. 1st and 10 from the 39. There's a fumble on the snap. Down to the turf to cover it up. Appears to be, was that Chavarria? Chavarria's the running back that recovered that one. And that's going to be a 3-yard loss for the Wildcats. That's when they started to get some spice going on the offense. Now they're starting to go back to old ways again.
Yeah, and they make one good play, and then you go backwards. It kind of negates the forward movement you got.
Second down and 13 now for the Cats at their own 31.5-yard line. They trail 7-0 to the Eagles with 6:20 left in the first half. Twins right, receivers 2 to the left. Shotgun, we had movement by the inside receiver on this left side right in front of us here. That was Joseph Walker stutter stepping before he took off on his pattern. The ball had not been hiked yet. So Clovis starting to really tack on the penalties so far with a total of 7 for 35. All of them 5-yard varieties, though.
Yeah, and flags go marching 2 by 2, hurrah. So backwards they go.
I mean, as being a head coach in many different places in Texas, I mean, when you have a young squad like this, you can expect this in game one, though, right?
Yeah, you can expect it, but, were they doing that last year on JV? Were they doing that, in their previous assignments? It's jitters. It's probably nervousness. It's maybe not having enough practice time yet.
2nd down and 18 for the Wildcats at their own 31-yard line. 4 receivers heading to the left side, 1 single to the right. By himself in the backfield is Acosta. Takes the shotgun snap, 1-step drop, fakes a pass left, and decides to throw it anyway and chucks it out of bounds over the head of 3 receivers. Now, somebody might call that intentional grounding, but they had 3 receivers right on that sideline. Nobody even near him defensively, but he was just nervous.
They ran a little bubble play, and Moore read the bubble play, and had he tried to throw it to the intended receiver, it would have been a pick 6, and Moore would have been gone because Moore was in between that route.
Yeah, but he definitely chucked that out of bounds. He had a lot of air on it. But I just think he was, I don't know if he got just felt some pressure from behind on that far right side or what. But
it was a quick bubble screen is what it was. And he started to pump the screen. He realized that Moore would have been gone with it, so he tucked it, had nowhere to go, and just had to chunk it away.
3rd down, 18 for the Wildcats at their own 31. Hobbs will put 4 on the front D-line, 3 linebackers. Blitz coming around the left end, back to pass. Costa gets flushed out across the 30 up the middle. He just has to take whatever he can get on that one and falls ahead for 3 yards. So Acosta now with 4 carries for 5 yards, and that's going to be another punt situation. This might be the 3rd punt. I don't think that Coach Fullerton would have a decision to go for a fake on this one with so many yards to get and way back on their own side of the field.
Doubt that. Wouldn't be a comfortable decision for me. Great job on the last play there by Andre Alvarado to flush that quarterback out.
4th down and 15 from the 32.5-yard line. And it punts formation once again, the Wildcats. 2 back deep for the Eagles, back of the 34 on their side of the field. Good snap. Oh, that is a fake. He's going to run around the left side. 30, 35, there's a flag. 40, cuts back up left hash. 45, 50, into Hobbs Eagle territory on the spin. But we got a flag back, so we're going to see what's going to happen here. That's about a 15, 16-yard gain on the play. Actually 18, but the flag coming down near midfield. Possibly a block in the back or something to try to break him open around that left end. And nobody out there for the Eagles until about the 40-yard line.
And they had a chance to drop him for just a couple-yard gain there, but you tried to arm tackle instead of put your helmet on him. You're going to miss that every time.
Still waiting for the call here. It's going to go against Hobbs. That was about a 19-yard pickup. They're going to tack on was 10 more on that. What was the signal? Let's see the official signal that one.
I thought he said it was holding against the defense. It wasn't a pass play, so I'm not certain how that would be a hold.
That was a 19-yard carry. That will be a 1st down, also penalty aided. So Clovis now all the way down to the Eagles side of the field at the 37-yard line on the left hash. We did not get the call signal there from the official that time. He was in some traffic. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Twins left, 2 of the right side of the receiving corps. Costa clapping his hands the ball up to Chavarria up the middle, stays on that left hash, and he's plowed down after a gain of 4 yards.
And number 42 on that tackle is Kenyon Singleton. Singleton did a good job.
Delay handoff up the middle again to Chavarria. He's just dragging people from behind on him. He gets out to the 30-yard line on the hurry-up offense. Another 4-yard pickup for Chavarria. He's got 22 yards on the ground on 8 carries. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.5, make it 4 for the Wildcats on the left hash. They trail 7-0 to your Eagles with 4:05 remaining, 2nd quarter. I notice another thing, too, Coach. We see the quarterback coming from the sidelines every other play as Milo Acosta is going to the sideline to get his play call.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to do that than to have to go read signals.
3rd down and 3 now from the 30-yard line of the Eagles. Shotgun Acosta, 2-step drop, dancing around in the pocket, comes up the middle with it, and is plowed under. He'll miss the 1st down by about a yard. Actually, the knees might have gone down even further for him. But it's going to make it real close for a 4th down play coming up.
They gave him a very nice spot. If you look at the line judge on this side, he's saying move it back, but they didn't do it.
2-yard pickup, bring it to the 27.5. So 4th and less than a yard to go for the Wildcats on the left hash. Clock to 3:18 here in the 2nd quarter.
This is a big play here in the 1st half.
Once again, going to the sideline as Acosta get the play call. Now back to the huddle, and they're up to the line of scrimmage. Single receiver right, 2 to the left, split formation backfield. In the middle of them is Acosta waiting for the shotgun. Delay from right to left, and they're going to drop. It looks like short of the first down, heading to the left side, and that will not be enough. Back to the line of scrimmage is all they got on that one. The Eagles getting up there quickly to stop it here on the near sideline.
Coach went ahead with a double blitz. Argott and Singleton coming through the gaps, and, boy, they met the runner head on.
The ball carrier, Joseph Walker, as Walker is going to get nothing on the play, and the Eagles will get it on downs. That will be the first time that's happened in this game, although Clovis has punted twice prior to that. Eagles will start 1st and 10 from the right hash at the 29. They lead 7-0, 2:39 left in the half. Go with the handoff around the right end, 30, 35, and about a extra yard there on top of it. Make it 7 for the Eagles on that handoff, and that is going to be the pickup for Gianni Royal, as Royal will get actually 7 yards on the play. So Royal now 3 carries for 14.
Roy had a nice quick step after he got the ball there. Got through that hole in the line quickly.
Hurry up offense. 2nd down and 3 now from the 36-yard line. Shotgun back to Graham. Stays in the pocket. Flushed right. Gets pressure to the near sideline. 30, 35, and run out of bounds at the 38. Nice forearm right into the chest of the defender as he put a major shot on Jet Stone on the near side.
Yeah, you got to like it when a quarterback's willing to get in there and mix it up like that.
And they're going to give him, looks like very close to the first down. Looks like they got about 3 on that one, and that will move the chains. So that will be a pickup for Graham. And the 7th first down for the Eagles. He has 38 on the ground right now for 5 carries. 7-2 in the first down department for the Eagles in favor over Clovis. 2:05 left here in the half. Twins left and right. Graham back in the shot, back at the 35. 3-step drop. Little pump fake, throws it down the far sideline, and a man open at the 40, just kind of opening up, waiting for it. His defender is more in the middle of the field. He was on the left hash waiting for the football, but they overthrow him. That was Silas Cerna on the far sideline. Over the top of his head, though, incomplete.
And he was about as open as you can get. You could have probably hung a sign on him and said 24/7 out there.
So incomplete. Eagles are now 8 of 9, or make it 8 of 10 in the passing game. And they'll have it now 2nd and 10 from the right hash at the 40. Stop the clock with 2 minutes exactly remaining here in the second. Up 7-0 Eagles. Shotgun. Handoff. Right, left to right. Cutting up the middle. 45. And dropped at the 48-yard line. It'll be an 8-yard pickup for Hobbs. And they're starting to mix it up just a bit. That's Corbin Thompson on that one. He gets, looks like, close to 8 yards on the carry. He's got 2 for 17 now total. 3rd down and 3. Ball at the 47. Of the Eagles. Shotgun. Oh, past Colton. He's got to try to scoop it up and does at the 37-yard line. It's going to be a big loss on the play, though, after a bad snap. He's going to lose about 12 on that one. Takes him a few seconds to get up. A teammate having to help him up that time.
It's going to force a punting situation.
Yeah, minus 12 on that one. The snap a little low to the right side of Graham. He had to chase it to the right hash and then scoop it. And, boy, the referee took a little bit of time to blow the whistle. He took a shot as well in the backfield. 4th down and 13 for the Eagles. Like you said, a punt situation. This will be the first punt opportunity for the Eagles. With 1:01 remaining, that's going to give Clovis probably a time for at least a couple of plays. Snap is good. Almost blocked on the kick. Going to be a wobbler to the 35 of Clovis. Takes a roll to the far side. Clovis going to pick it up and try to come back with a very dangerous return. He runs backwards to the 20-yard line on the far right side, and the Eagles swarm him up. Coach Fullerton's going to say they're not a very good decision.
Yeah, I think the special teams coach is probably telling him to come here right now. He's getting chewed before he even gets to the sidelines.
He's kind of high-fiving some teammates as he comes out. Nobody's even putting their hand out to him, but very dangerous pickup on that ball. He's got, yeah, like you said, the special teams coach is saying, let's don't try to be the hero here, especially if you fumble that football and give it back to Hobbs in deep territory. So
probably has to explain him the rules that if you don't touch it, the other team can't get the ball. He probably thought the other team could get it.
And we won't single him out. He's getting his talk right now. That's enough. No number. We won't give a name. I see the number now, but
we'll be nice.
Number 13, but we won't give a name out.
We've all been there.
1st down and 10 from the 22. The Wildcats going with the delay handoff up the middle. Chavarria, 25, 30, 35, and thrown down to the ground after a 1st down pickup. That's 15, maybe more than that, depending on the spot.
Clovis is going to get a quick timeout here, stop the clock.
Actually, that's 16 for Chavarria. So that'll move the chains for the Wildcats.
They're holding on. Maybe there's a flag we're not seeing over here. They're conversing, and the chains haven't moved.
I don't see the yellow, but could be the difference, and maybe we're just having a clinic.
Back at the 17-yard line.
On the near sideline here, yeah, you're right. It's front of the Clovis bench, but a long discussion here. Already for Chavarria, 10 carries. That was his biggest there for 16. We got Clovis breaking their huddle. 3 referees behind this the huddle there, and we still don't have a signal. I've got a feeling without a signal yet, maybe he's going to pick up his flag and wave it like no penalty. Nope. Looks like they're going to tack on something to Clovis.
But where are they going to attack it from? That's the
Should have been from where the penalty was, but
depends on the penalty.
Yeah, we haven't seen the signal yet, though. Whitecap still getting set up here. False start, and again, one of those plays that should have been stopped before it proceeded down the field, but a 5-yard penalty for the Wildcats. So take away the 16-yard run for Chavarria. That was his best of the night, and that's going to back him up to the 16-yard line. 1st and 15 now for the Wildcats. 38 seconds left in the half. Good news for the Eagle D. Twins left, receiver right. Shotgun. Costa, delay handoff to Chavarria left, and he zigzags back to the middle on the right. He's going to get plowed over to the far right hash mark. But he'll get positive yardage, but not too much. 4 deep in the back from the original line of scrimmage, though. So Chavarria with 4 on that one.
Yeah, he met a sea of white right there. The Tide just carried him down.
Chavarria with 26 yards on the ground. That's going to run the clock. I doubt Clovis is going to try another play with a 2nd down and 12. So they're going to be just happy with trailing by 7 as the Hobbs Eagles have held up quite a few times with some good defense, causing a total of 2 punts and a turnover on downs, and that will be the halftime score. So the opener of the 2021 season, it's Hobbs 7 and Clovis 0. We'll be back in 2 minutes live here on Cool 95.7, also on YouTube, home of the Hobbs Eagles.
Okay, you're clear. You guys are doing great. I've got the stream up. It looks good. And I'll give you 2 minutes here.
All of your furniture needs. They offer free delivery.
You're 40 out.
Please add a minute.
$30 away.
We need an extra minute, please.
$10. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. Your score 7-0 as the Hobbs Eagles lead the Clovis Wildcats. It's halftime here in Clovis, and it's been a defensive struggle for both teams here in the first half. And to say the least, penalties have hurt both teams, and it looks like they're going to have to settle down and attempt to try to push that out in the second half, try to get that offensive scoring going.
Yeah, Hobbs trying to take advantage of 2 punts and a turnover on downs against the Wildcats, and both teams trying to feel themselves out in that second quarter. Obviously, Eagles getting the only score of the ball game back in the first. 1 yard run for Colton Graham as the Eagles taking it deep into the Clovis territory. Gets the run across the line of scrimmage. Some power moves there to finish up that series and lead 7-0. That's all they've needed so far. It's kind of reminiscent of that game we had last year, a very close one, 14-10, where very close game from the start. In fact, the Eagles had their chances to win that ball game, but unfortunately, had a last couple second pass that didn't go, and then the Eagles ended up losing that one. But still, we're seeing kind of the same type of process going on here. Clovis is not as experienced as that team last year, but they're trying to hang on against this Hobbs Eagles squad. Last year was 14-10 the final in that ball game, but a very close contest. But still, looking at this one, Hobbs would like to take advantage of some of those possessions that they were given. Of course, when you take a look at some of the offensive players, Caden Trevino not suiting up tonight in this one, so that's definitely a factor that they've had to deal with. But we're seeing some different guys run the football. Colton Graham, 6 carries for 26 yards. Royal has 3 for 14. Baeza, 5 for 13. And Thompson, 2 for 17. So right now, Eagles rushing for 70 yards on a total of 16 carries. So, again, seeing a lot of different guys touch the football. They've also thrown for 68 yards in the air. Kirkendall has had 4 catches for 35. Thompson, 1 for 18. Also getting a catch for the Eagles, Ethan Van Landingham for 12, and Moore had a catch for 3 yards. So 4 different pass receivers, 4 of those receptions from Kirkendall. And, again, 138 yards of offense, 70 on the rush, 68 in the passing game so far. You flip the coin, and you got the Clovis Wildcats. Chavarria, 8 carries for 26. Acosta, the quarterback, 5 for 7. And then one other guy with negative yardage. So only 51 on the ground so far for the Wildcats. They've completed 1 pass for 14 yards. That was to Cox. So 51 on the ground, 14 in the air. They were 1 of 2 at the passing game, 65 yards so far, again compared to 138 for the Eagles. So more than doubling on the yardage so far and a 7-0 lead.
I think the only reason it's 7-0 instead of 14-0 or even worse is the turnover. If it hadn't been for the turnover, the field position switching on us, probably a much different ball game right now. Probably looking at a 14-0 score.
And it doesn't help the same, too, that Clovis has had 8 penalties for 40 yards, all of them the 5-yard variety. Hobbs with a total of 4 penalties at this point, and they've got a total of 40 yards in the handkerchiefs at this point of the game. Another big differential is in terms of ball possession, Coach, 7 first downs for the Eagles, just 3 for Clovis.
And, you can see that in this game that really Hobbs' offense is balanced. It's been moving the ball. It may not have put it in the end zone every time down the field, but we're moving the ball, and just a couple of small mistakes are forcing us to punt. On the flip side, really, Clovis has not moved the ball well, and when they did get first downs, they were scrambling quarterback, throwing it as it's falling out of bounds first downs, or we faked a punt for a first down, that kind of thing. They're not getting just, we're grinding it out, we're beating you first downs.
Now, we talked about in the pregame, there's 5 starters not in this game, including Trevino. But, again, the inexperience of the Clovis Wildcats, does that kind of even out this game more, and thus the 7-0 lead?
I think both teams are fairly inexperienced at this time of the season. But when you play 6A ball, these kids are plug and play. They've been in the system a while. You've been running things the same way every year. These kids should know what they're doing. And you get to be your sophomore, junior year, even though it may be your first varsity start, it should be a natural progression for you. So I don't know. I'm not really buying into the whole youth thing. I think it's kind of equal on the thing. It's just going to be who settles down and does what they're supposed to do.
How is the defensive defense and the special teams coaches talking about the punt returns, though? That's been a big factor. Eagles got lucky on the first punt return on that one series where they fumble it. They come back on a procedure call, false start, I believe, against Clovis, which should have been called when the snap was done. They should have stopped the play, but we fumbled out on the near sideline here in front of Clovis, and then get the ball back on another punt right after that and fumble in the same exact spot again in front of the Clovis bench. Is there a lot of catcalling or psychological games on the sideline here or what?
There's none of that. It's not like if you're cheating, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It's nothing like that's going on. It's just you got to settle down and and do what you're supposed to do. And if you put the ball on the turf, that's not what you're supposed to do. And coaches are coaching them up, and you'll either get it right or you won't be on the field. That's for darn sure.
And that ball was recovered by Clovis about the 25-yard line going in against Hobbs, so they could have very easily tied up the ball game on that one.
Yep, turnovers can completely flip a field, and you think about that with a 40-yard punt. That's 40 yards of offense you just gave them because you turned it over after a 40-yard punt. So, there's your other 40 yards you add to the 54 they've got. That gives them 90 yards of total offense because you just gave it to them.
Of course, second half, the Eagles will be the receiving team, Coach, and I think that's kind of the spot you want to be in. You have this 7-point lead. You can't be happy with that low of a number at this point, so get an opportunity to get some more points and get some insurance.
I think it's very important to come out and have a good drive that first series because at this point, you're making adjustments. You're in there saying, hey, we saw this. Guys, you've got to see it too. Let's do this and this and this. When you come out in the second half, you should have made adjustments that you should be able to march right up and down the field before the defense makes their adjustments to whatever you do.
Clovis Wildcat marching band out of the field right now, about 6.5 away from the start of the second half of action. We'll take another break here. Hobbs leading Clovis 7-0, game one of the 2021 season live on Cool 95.7 and YouTube. Ty Friend, Coach Brian Coltrane with you. We'll send it back to Allen at the station.
You're clear. How much do you want here?
3 minutes, please.
Okay. Now, talk to me in the queue. Okay.
Alan, if we talk to you in the queue, they could hear it over the broadcast.
Oh, they can hear it on the internet stream.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As long as you guys can hear me.
Yes.
How much did you want here?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Got you. Thank you. $40 away. $20 to you. $10. $4, 3, 2, go.
Welcome back. 7-0 your score as we are at halftime here. Clovis Wildcats and your Hobbs Eagles. Eagles lead. And it's Coach Brian Coltrane with Ty Friend carrying the broadcast tonight. And we have got ourselves a great defensive battle on tap. But I have a feeling, Ty, and we were talking about this earlier, that I think they're going to work out some of the kinks, and I bet you we start seeing a lot of scoring in the second half.
Yeah, the Hobbs Eagle defense better be ready for Chavarria. I mean, he's not lighting it up at this point. 8 carries for 26, but he's getting 99% of the carries and has a little bit of space to mess with in the backfield. We're not getting enough penetration on him, and there's been a lot of time either for a delay in the backfield where a coach is going to hold it to see kind of an option look. Maybe he's going to tuck it himself a few times. Coach has been dropped in the backfield a couple of times. But you got to remember, too, Chavarria, they got a penalty that called the team back after gaining 16, which is his next to last run of that second quarter. So he definitely is going to be the go-to guy in terms of the running game. Passing department not doing too much right now. 1 of 2 throwing the football, so that hasn't been much of a threat at this point. But penalties, Clovis has got to get over that hump big time. I mean, that's hurt him on several drives. It's knocked him back. It knocked him on that 16-yard carry where they were knocking in the red zone of the Eagles. So if they don't get that cleaned up, Hobbs is going to kind of milk this low lead at this point to the W column.
And, I really think that patterns and tendencies are very important in football. We've had a balanced attack so far, so you don't really know what we're going to do. So you're still kind of on edge. You're still trying to figure out what we're going to do, whether we're going to pass or run each down. But Clovis has been pretty predictable. They ran the ball consistently 90% of the time and didn't do that well. I think those patterns and tendencies really indicate that Hobbs is poised. If you don't have turnovers, they're poised to make a big jump in the second half, and I bet you will probably see 21 points scored here.
And both teams really challenged last week before the season gets going. They have their scrimmages, and Hobbs taking on Mayfield. Of course, they just moved down to 5A, but they were just in the district last year and a few years prior to that. Of course, Clovis had Las Cruces on their schedule. That's a team from the Hobbs Eagle district. So those are no slouches to start off a year with in scrimmage action. Eagles outscored Mayfield, and had to go all the way to Alamogordo to play that, a 3.5-hour drive. And, of course, Las Cruces about an hour or two there. So that was a big difference in travel, which Hobbs is used to. But again, that Las Cruces Clovis matchup is a pretty big a deal as well.
Both teams getting ready to come out right now, and Hobbs Eagles excited running through their big blow-up H out there with an eagle on it. That's a nice little gift from the Booster Club out there for sure.
And COVID has not shut that down. That's the good part about it. And don't have to wear a face mask. At least the cloth face mask. You can wear your helmet face mask in there. But Eagles next week, another road game. They will be playing against the Artesia Bulldogs, of course, from the Wool Bowl there. Or not Wool Bowl, that's Roswell. The Bulldog Bowl, of course, a lot of orange in the stadium for that contest. Pretty much kind of a collegiate atmosphere when you go to those games at the Bulldog Bowl.
Yeah, and that'll be a game. Hobbs Band's not here tonight, but that'll be a game where the Hobbs Band will attend, and you'll have both bands blowing loud. You'll have fans all over the place, and it's going to be a nice, loud Friday night football environment.
Of course, Eagles doing some major damage against Artesia last year. I mean, that was a blowout victory. In fact, the first win of the season for the Eagles, 56-27, so beating them by 29 points. Should mention, too, second quarter score. Artesia's trailing Carlsbad 14-0, so the Cavemen coming up big so far against the Artesia squad.
Artesia seems like last year just wasn't the normal umph that they normally have, and that's starting to continue into this year. I bet you some heads will be rolling in Artesia if they start off the same way.
Coach, some other Lee County teams in action tonight. Of course, Raton is in Eunice, and Eunice making claim to the state championship last year is more of a bowl game deal, but not officially, I don't know, asterisk championship, I guess. But, hey, Eunice definitely one of the best teams in the state year after year and had the most state championships in their pocket. I mean, that's something to look at. But how do you feel about some of those games? Jal's also in action tonight as well at home.
Yeah, and it's Eunice hosting Raton will be a very interesting game. Raton traveling 5 hours, actually almost 6 hours for them across the state to play Eunice. And I guess if you want to play the big dogs, you go ahead and line them up early. And I guess Raton's trying to get that out of their way.
And what about the tough start for Jal having Texaco come to their house?
Texaco's a tough team usually, and Jal is a really up-and-coming team. We've seen a lot of progress the last few years with them. It's going to be a good matchup. That'd be an interesting one to see the score at the end of the night.
Of course, another road trip for Lovington to start the season. They're at Santa Teresa tonight. That's on our sister station, KZOR. That started at 6 o'clock, so they're well ahead of us in terms of schedule on that one. And, of course, tomorrow, our own Alan Scott, who's back at the station tonight, he'll be on the road in Albuquerque. Navajo Pine opener for the Tatum Coyotes. And there's another big road trip the Coyotes have to make. Lee County teams have to travel a lot, Coach. You know that.
Yeah, and that's just a part of it. But you get that travel early in the season, you get used to that travel. When you have to travel late in the playoffs, it really pays off because you're used to it.
So we looks like we do have a score coming in on the Jowl game as we just got that delivered to us here. Let me get that up here real quickly. Thanks to Jason Farmer back at the Hobbs News Sun tonight. Jowl leads Texaco 27-20 with 3:22 left in the second quarter. I had a chance to referee the Jowl scrimmage with Hobbs JB this past week, and Jowl had a real tough quarterback, very tall kid. He played basketball for him too. Like the long hair in the back there, but he doesn't let anybody pull that hair. He's out and around you before you have a chance to reach out. But that sounds like an exciting game. And, again, Jowl hosting Texaco, leading by 7 in the second. So I'd like to thank Jason Farmer on that. We'll keep you updated on some of those games. Of course, we have them on the radio and YouTube. Tatum will be tomorrow. Eunice and Lovington are on the radio right now. KPZA 103.7 for Eunice and 94.1 for KZOR and Lovington. So that's what we got for action. Of course, the game you're listening to, Hobbs Eagles and Clovis. And I think one big thing about it before we hit the second half, Coach, you do have a 7-0 lead, which is nice. I wouldn't say cushion, but you always love to lead Clovis on the road.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to win, you're going to have to win the first half, and they did that. Now they're just going to have to stay steady, finish off the game, and do what they can to put the ball in the end zone again.
And we mentioned this, too, just a few minutes ago, that Hobbs will be receiving to start this second half, so that's definitely an advantage as they've been having a good job of moving the football with those 7 first downs, just 3 for Clovis. The Eagles with a lot less penalties, too, 4 for 30 compared to 8 for 40 for Clovis. They fake that onside kick to the left side. They bunch up on that left hash at the 40, and then they spread it out. We've been seeing that a lot from teams and not really faking anybody out. Eventually, that can come back to bite the receiving team if you're not paying attention. Here comes the kickoff. They'll keep it down on the ground. A roller to the 30. Return for the Eagles on the near side. 35, 40. Slipping a tackler and back it out to the 43-yard line. So about a 12-yard return for the Eagles. And we're going to do a lot better job with numbers, I think, with those lights on the field and no sun to deal with. Nate Cerceris returns that one. Actually, no, correction, already messing it up. Jayani Royal as he gets it for the Eagles. In a great field position to start this third quarter at the 43.
And, it's kind of funny you're talking about that little fake the kickoff kind of thing. It's one of the most annoying things I've ever seen in football.
Well, you go down and tell them that, Coach.
I'd be more than happy to.
But you'll be the 12th player on the field. They'll flag you quick. 1st and 10 from the 43. Eagles football. Trips left, receiver right. Back to pass. No, a handoff at the last second. But the Wildcats are going to snuff it out, and Eagles will be dropped near the line, trying to angle out to the left. And looks like there might have been some problems in the backfield as Baeza was kind of slapping his helmet and pounding his chest like I made a mistake on that. I don't know if he went the wrong way or just got kind of bunched into his quarterback, Colton Graham, that time.
Yeah, he bounced it where the quarterback was actually going to enter the hole. So when he bounced it, he entered the wrong place.
No gain on the play. Brings up a 2nd down and 10 from the 43. Man in motion left to right. Fake the handoff to the motion man. Up the middle, the handoff to the 50, 45, Baeza, right hash, 40, 35, and gets tripped up and somersaults for an extra few yards on that one. So he's going to pick up a big-time yardage on that one. It's going to be 24 yards as a great handoff coming up the gut.
And the nice thing about that is the good ones, when they make a mistake, they don't make the mistake twice. That time he hit the right hole.
22 yards. That's his 6th carry, or make it 7th carry now for 35 on the ground. 1st and 10. That's the 8th first down. Back to pass. Graham on the shotgun at the 40. Up the middle. Tucks it. Goes to the right side to the 30. 25, 20, and gets pulled down by some purple. But he will pick up another first down. And looks like a 5-yarder for Colton Graham. Sorry, a 12-yarder for Colton Graham. And a move the chains for the Eagles.
Chain gain out there is getting their exercise, going right up the field first possession here in the second half.
Hurry up offense, though the Eagles will not go to the huddle. They will look to the sidelines. That's the 9th first down for Hobbs. And Colton Graham now, actually give him 14 on that carry. He's 7 for 40 now on the running game. Eagles had 70 yards in the first half. 1st and 10, 9 first downs as we mentioned from the right hash at the 20 of the Wildcats. Trips left, 2 receivers right after a shift. Graham by himself in the backfield, bring a man in motion right to left. They'll give the handoff around the left end. Heading strong out is Moore, coming around the 15 and down to the 10, and a big pileup at the 11, or make it the 9, and that's close to the first down. Looks like he just had enough on that one.
Have a change move again. These guys out there carrying it are huffing and puffing.
I guess that was actually for the Eagles. Correction, Ethan Van Landingham that went in motion that time. That's his first carry. And that will be 11 for the first down.
Big drive here. You come out in the second half and punch it in, go up 2 scores. That's going to serve you well.
They're at the 9 now. That'll be their last chance for a first down in this series. Twins left and right. Graham in shotgun, man in motion left to right. Going to keep up the middle. Graham, he's weaving his way through the traffic, diving towards the goal line. He's just going to be shy by about a yard, so he will get to that goal line. Started at the 9, got to the 1, so 8 yards for Graham. And he's had 2 carries for 22 here in the second half, 48 overall from the rushing game. Of course, he was a leader on the ground and a quick hurry-up offense in that game last year. Here we go with the shotgun to Graham. Hands off around the left end, breaking a tackle and diving over the goal line for the touchdown. Van Landingham coming out of the backfield that time. He had 2 carries in that series, and the Eagles go up 13-0 as he chest bumps a couple of his teammates deep in the left corner of the end zone.
Nice little well-designed play. Had the misdirection on the first fake handoff. Give it to the second guy coming around, and nobody touched him as he went into the end zone.
So he gets the 6 points. Talking to his stepdad last night, one of our referees in Lee County now. I'm sure he's pretty happy about that one. He had a good scrimmage on last week as well. The PAT is up, and it is good. So the Hobbs Eagles increase the lead to 14-0 after a 1-yard touchdown run for Van Landingham, the tech on PAT. With 9:22 remaining here in the third, it's 14-0. Your Eagles over Clovis. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Nice job. You're clear. $30 out. Ten. 5, 4, 3, 2. Go.
Welcome back, 14-0 your score. Hobbs lead. Here's Ty Friend with the call.
The kickoff to the Wildcats, bobbled at the 10-yard line, having to track it down and picks it back up the middle, gets across the 15, and a big swarm for the Hobbs Eagles. When you have trouble returning, you know you're going to give some time for those penetrators to get in there, and they take care of business for Hobbs.
And on the tackle, Singleton and Argott got down there, and it looked like they were the ones that kind of bottled them in.
And that the return man for the Wildcats on that one was Angel Chavarria. That was the ball carrier. He's also the starting running back as well. They'll have it at the 17, trailing 14-0 to your Eagles, both scoring touchdowns off 1-yard runs. Colton Graham, the quarterback, and Van Landingham coming out of the backfield as well. Clovis had 2 punts, turnover on downs in the first half. Acosta waiting for the shotgun. Has a man on his right shoulder. Twins left and right. Back to pass with a curl route. Throws it low in the dirt or make it the field turf on the near sideline. And no chance for a catch there. Intended for R.J. Nora, who's yet to get one in this ball game. He's their leading receiver. Clovis is now 1 for 3 in the passing game for 14 yards.
And a good job there, Hobbs, defensively. The defensive backs were up quickly on him and kind of kept it contained. And Moore was only a couple of steps away himself.
Yeah, Nate Cerceris on the outside as well, playing some help on that corner position. So now trips left, Twins right, shotgun, back to pass on the double pump on the near sideline, a bobble catch by Walker, and he's flattened out at the 22. So Walker's going to pick up, make it 5 on the play.
And Walker gets up like he did something really special and throws the ball at one of the Hobbs players. Almost got 15 yards for that.
Just the second reception for the Wildcats, total of 19 yards in the air. Of course, the receivers don't get a lot of chances to catch the ball usually in a Clovis offense, although last year they did throw for close to 700 yards for the season in the air.
Yeah, I threw the ball a lot more last year than at any point in time that I've seen them in existence.
3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats at their own 22. They trail Hobbs 14-0. Pair of receivers right and left, waiting for the shotgun is Acosta with Chavarria. Fakes a handoff. Back to pass, gets out of pressure near left. He's going to fire the ball down the middle to the 30. Caught near sideline, 35-40, and that will be a first down pickup and then some. It's going to be 22 yards for the Wildcats on the catch on the near sideline.
I think Caceres got a little shaken up behind the play. Somebody cut back and gave him a pretty good lick.
22-yard catch, and it looks like we've got a mangled handoff here at the line of scrimmage, a flag. I think they got somebody jumping off sides. Thought they were going to stop the play anyway after a 22-yard reception. Kind of a hurry-up offense. Receiver that caught that last ball is getting his jersey taken care of right now. I didn't even have it ready as for that play. It was R.J. Nora, by the way, that made that 22-yard catch, and we're checking on the foul here. So Nora getting his first catch of the contest. And that's a false start going to be called against the Wildcats. They're 9th for 45 yards.
And, Cisneros really was shaken up. Is he still on the field at this point? I'm wondering because, man, he looked a little bit wobbly out there. And if I saw that on the Clovis sidelines, I'd certainly go at somebody like that.
So the Wildcats have made 2 receptions here in the second half for 27 yards. They're 3 of 5 in the passing game for 41. First down and 20 now. That was actually a 10-yard penalty. Back to pass. They throw the out route. Bounces off the numbers of the chest. Hearing footsteps behind him at the 40, rolling towards the right side. That would have been about a 7-8-yard pickup, but instead bounces off the numbers and comes out.
Singleton on the coverage there. Did a good job. Right when the ball got there, Singleton got there as well.
That'll bring up a second down and 20. Ball's at the 30-yard line. Clock to 7:34 left, third quarter. Eagles up 14-0, coming off 1-yard touchdown runs. First quarter for Graham, and also Van Landingham with the 1-yarder in the third just about 2 minutes ago. Clovis comes back with a pair of receivers both sides, waiting for shotgun as Acosta. Slaps his hands, fakes a handoff to Chavarria. 1-step drop, rolling left, now coming back up the middle. Slides back to the left side of the 40 and puts his head down for a couple extra. He's going to get 9. Then flicks it over to the official on the near sideline.
And, when he runs the ball, he ends up taking a lot of licks. I mean, he is paying for every yard that he gets.
6 carries for 16 for Acosta. That was his best of the ball game so far from that QB position. He's a guy that also has to run to the sideline to get the play, at least on his head coach's side here on the right.
I almost wish they'd do like the NFL and just talk to your quarterback. I think that'd be a more efficient way to run things.
Pair of receivers right and left on a 3rd down and 12. Shotgun for Acosta. Slaps his helmet, gets the shot to the 36, rolls left. He's going to be met in the backfield. A couple of Hobbs Eagles. And, boy, the big boy holding him with 2 hands on his jersey. And, boy, trying to rip him down hard was Gavin Brumley. We talked about him. He had 6 tackles last year against the Wildcats. Got the knee injury, sat out the rest of the season. But he's come back with the 315 pounds there.
And he just kind of grabs both ends of the jersey and just kind of looks him in the eyes and says, "You're not going anywhere, boy."
It looked like he had him by the tuxedo that time, just kind of looking in his face, picked him up off the bookshelf and said, you're not, like you said, you're going to stay right where you're at. I don't need any help either. One-man wrecking crew. 4th down and 17 now for the Wildcats on the left hash. From the 40, they're going to punt again. That's their 3rd one of the ballgame. They had 1 fake. It's going to take a roll to the 20 on the right hash. Return man with a nice stiff arm is Moore. He's going to go to the 20, but then slips and is pulled down from behind. Looked like he was going to get away, but he had another Clovis Wildcat from behind pull him down. But nice stiff arm to start that one off.
And, you can tell this is a rivalry game because as you have a play over there where the guy's returning the ball, there's all these hits going on behind, in front of the play, and there's a lot of extracurricular activity. People are really getting after each other, and people are getting up slow and injured now. There's not a lot of love lost between these two teams.
There is a flag near the Clovis sideline late on the play. Looks like the Eagles are already starting to back up. That's after they had got that return to the 20. That's going to be a hold against the Eagles. It should be just half the distance. It is 10 yards for Hobbs. And for them, that's their 5th penalty for 40 total. So still well below Clovis's numbers at this point. Clovis had 8 for 40 at the half and now 9 for 50 overall with one penalty here in the third.
With a 2-score lead, this is the time where you want to eat up a lot of clock and make a nice long drive.
6 minutes remaining here in the third. Eagles up 14-0 at the 10-yard line of their own. Trips right, receivers 2 to the left. Rolling right is Graham out of the shotgun, coming to the 5, throws it on the run, a shoulder shot over the shoulder to the 35. They got a hold foul, actually a PI pass interference instead, and the Clovis fans are not happy. Campers are going to get R.J. Nora on that one. He's a receiver on offense and tried to kind of get in the way of the Eagles receiver that time and pays the price as that ball probably would not have been caught anyway, but he was in traffic, but still getting that PI call. That's going to be 15 yards against the Purple.
He had ran a beautiful route, and for a brief moment there had about a 3-step lead on him. Unfortunately, the throw was a little bit shallow and had to come back for it, and that's what caused all the contact. But, they went from running cover 2 and cover 4 zones. That time they were cover 0. They were manned up everywhere. A couple of under linebackers. There was nobody covering deep.
That's Van Landingham that got the opportunity on that one. That's a 15-yard penalty. That's the 11th first down for the Eagles at their own 25. Man in motion from left to right. We got flags flying on the motion call there, and looks like there might have been some jumping going on for the Eagles. So that will back them up 5 on the false start as Hobbs now with 6 penalties for 45 yards. And thanks to Jason Farmer again with a score update from Jal. Panthers leading 33-20 at the half as they're leading Texaco. Boy, that's a big lead, 13 points, Coach.
They are absolutely doing a wonderful job down there in Jal.
First down and 15 for the Eagles at their own 20 after the penalty. Twins left and right, man in motion. Fake the handoff. Now a dump in the right wing for the screen pass, but there's a flag as he comes out with the catch at the 21-yard line. Would have been just a 1-yard pickup with a big tackle by the Wildcats, but there's something going on here on the near sideline that caught the referee's eye.
It was a block in the back is what it was, and we've seen more laundry than what they have down at the Wishy-Washy. This has just been a crazy game. Referees are probably getting a little bit tired in their arms from throwing it.
That's going to be another half the distance, so that's going to go be 10 yards now against the Eagles. Not helping their cause here on this first offensive series of the second half. That's their third penalty here in the third quarter for 25 yards, 55 overall. They're starting to kind of replicate what Clovis was having a problem with in the first half.
Yeah, you can't go backwards, especially deep in your own territory. It's first and forever.
First and 24 from the 11 on the right hash. Shotgun. Going to throw a comeback route to the 10 on the line of scrimmage, cutting up the middle to the 15, 20, and that's going to be a 10-yard pickup.
There's that bubble screen again.
I believe that was Silas Cerna that time on that far side coming down towards the middle. So Cerna will pick up. See, they gave him 10 on that one. So Eagles now with a total of 8 catches. Go with the handoff, delay. Here comes Baeza, 20, 25, and tripped up and somersaults ahead. Gets past the original line of scrimmage. An 8-yard pickup for the Eagles.
There's a lot of purple bodies that are getting up off the ground a little bit slow here.
So Baeza now has 8 carries overall in this game for 43 yards, 30 of those here in the third quarter. Third down and 8 now, a little bit more reasonable than the 24 they had seconds ago after those penalties. They're looking to the sidelines now are the Eagles with 4:35 remaining, and this clock going pretty quickly here in the third, up by 14.
You'll have to come back to that slip screen again.
Trends left and right, back to pass, a bubble route to the left side, screen pass. Luckily that was forward because it was dropped, but that was close on that one, and no chance of catch on the Eagles' left side near their own sideline.
Looks like we're going to have to be forced to punt again.
So incomplete on that one, 4th down and 8. So that's, as you said, that will be a possibility of their first punt in the ball game. They had a turnover on downs earlier. Another score update for you. Eunice is actually down at halftime, Coach, to Raton 21-0 at half.
Woo!
Thanks to Jason Farmer on that score update. I would not have expected that. Why do you make a 6-hour road trip? To be up 21-0, I guess.
Against the asterisk state champs.
Jason, that better not be a wrong score. I've just put my foot in my mouth. Here come the Eagles with the punt from the 19-yard line. It's going to be a low one. Takes a roll to Clovis's side. It continues. A nice roll for the Eagles. They got 2 to cover down at the 24-yard line of the Wildcats. And, boy, that was not a pretty punt. It was a low punt, but it takes a nice clip off the ground. It takes a big-time roll, about maybe 25, 30 yards down into Clovis territory.
I think in golf you call that a worm burner.
Don't think he had that one planned, but he'll take it. Definitely is going to put the Wildcats back a little bit. So Hobbs with just their first punt of the ball game. They lead 14-0. 4:13 remaining in the third, and you're calling the play calls for Clovis. Do you change things up at all here? I mean, they've thrown a few passes in this second half for 30 or 27 yards.
They got to have some sort of balance. If they don't have balance, we're going to stop them every time.
Hobbs has only completed 1 pass for 10 yards, so they have 78 in the air. And a total of 41 in the air for Clovis. 1st and 10 from their own 24 with 4:13 remaining here in the third. Slapping his hands as Acosta gets a shotgun. Quarterback keeper up the middle, 25, and he's dropped to the 29. Be a 5-yard pickup for the quarterback, Acosta.
And they're starting to try to grind it out here, down 2 touchdowns. That clock works in our favor. A little more than a quarter left to play. They're going to have to find some way to get yardage quicker than this.
7 carries for 21 yards for Acosta, the quarterback, and a 2nd down and 6 now for the Purple. Receiver left, shotgun. Acosta gets it, tucks it, tries to put his head down around the left end and meets a wall of Hobbs Eagles. The white and gold in this ball game with the black helmets puts it down hard there, close to the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a yard in the play.
Met a wall at Oliver Hill right there. Oliver Hill making the tackle from the defensive tackle position.
Actually, that might have been a direct snap to Chavarria that time. I believe he stepped up and took that one, so we're going to go ahead and credit him on the play. And we're going to see no yards, maybe about a yard there for Chavarria getting a liberal spot. 9 carries for 27 for the starting running back. Ball's close to the 30-yard line with a 3rd down and 5. Clock to 3:05 left, third quarter. Hobbs up 14-0 over Clovis. Pairs of receivers left and right. Shotgun for Acosta. Clapping his hands. He's done that the whole game. 3-step drop. He's going to fire it on the post route. Caught at the 40-yard line. That will be enough for the first down. And then some 10-yard pickup. The ball fumbles out, but they call it dead. He did get the catch.
And the defensive backs are playing a little bit too far off on that. You got to know down and distance. It's 3rd and 5. You've got to defend 5. You don't defend 12 off and try to come up and make a tackle.
That was Chavarria on the play that time. Getting 12 on that catch. That'll be 3 receptions made for the Wildcats here in the second half for 39 yards. So they're definitely starting to up their ante in this ball game. They are 4 of 8 in the passing game, so 50%. 1st and 10, that's their 4th first down, down from the 40-yard line, still in their own territory, though. Hobbs putting 4 in the box. Twins right, receiver left. Back to pass, rolling right on the run, and the drill to the out route. It's bouncing off the numbers of the receiver at the 46. He would have been shy by about 3. He got crunched under quickly by the Hobbs Eagles secondary, but did not come up with the catch on that one. Kind of thrown low near the field turf as that pass incomplete for Jason Garza.
And, for a brief moment, the Hobbs defense was a slight bit confused.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 40, right at the middle X of the football field. Clock stopped on the incomplete, 2:12 left in the third. A lot of interchanging by the Hobbs Eagle defensive front now, switching it up quite a bit. They got a single slot in motion for Clovis, right to left. He stutter steps in the middle behind the center. Fake handoff, up the gut goes Acosta, the quarterback, 45, and he'll pick up an extra 6 yards on that one, coming every step closer to the Hobbs Eagle midfield there. And that's going to be, again, 6-yard pickup for Acosta.
Another one of those design reads. You're running the sweep to the outside, but you're putting it in the belly of that running back, and you're riding him as long as you can, watching to see if the tackle will vacate. If the tackle goes down the line, you're going to pull it, and you're going to go right up the middle.
Acosta started in 3 of 4 games last season for the Wildcats, who finished 3-2. Of course, the Eagles at 2-3. Both teams winning the last 2 games of their spring season. 1:30 left here in the third. 14-0 Eagles. It's 3rd down and 4 from the Clovis 47. Slot man in motion right to left. He resets. They're going to go with the fake handoff. Here comes Acosta rolling around right. He gets spun down. Eagles actually gave him an extra yard when they threw him down to the turf. Luckily not through the first down marker. That was very close. He gets 3, but he almost had 4. That would have been right at the 50. Would have been a first.
I'm not sure they actually got him completely down because when they spun him, he kind of ended up backing his feet and kept running. but they blew the whistle already.
They call the timeout. I think the officials want to practice their measurements of the first, and they're going to bring the chains out on this one. He looked like he was down by at least half a yard shy of that first marker.
But again, I don't think his knees came down. I think they kind of slung him, and you kind of flung him back toward the first down.
So they've got the chains out at midfield, right in the middle of the Clovis mascot at the 50-yard line is where the ball is shy of. They needed to get to the 50. Of course, we got a referee who's back right into us here, so we're not going to get to see the actual point of where the chain comes down here. But he's short.
About 3
we
inches.
thought he was short. I thought it would be about a half a yard, but very much closer than that. So Hobbs going to have to bring out their brute force defense. And how do you line up the D on a 4th and short? Very important play here is Clovis needs to start getting some points. They're down 14-0 late in the third.
I believe you do what you did the last time. You bring the house, you go single coverage on the outside, you take a risk here.
There's no chance there's any trickery here, right? Just a hand up the middle. Coach has been carrying a lot of stuff here in the last few minutes.
There's chances of trickery here, but if they want to do that, they're going to do that against a full-force blitz. And, how are they going to do that under pressure if they're young?
4th down and short at the 50-yard line, just shy of it. Acosta with a couple of claps of the hands. He hands it off to Chavarria in the backfield, and the wall works for the Eagles. They drill him into the backfield. He's going to lose at least a yard and a half. And, boy, Hobbs jumping for joy as they head off the sideline waiting for their offense to come on.
Kenyon Singleton on a blitz right up the gut right there. Met him head on about 2 yards in the backfield. Hobbs ball.
We saw Acosta carry quite a few of their plays this last few minutes here, but they decided to hand off to Chavarria, who's been their workhorse at the tailback. But that time, the Eagles weren't going to be fooled by either one of them getting the ball.
And that has to really take a lot of wind out of their sails. They had a chance to keep a drive going. Now Hobbs is in their territory with the ball, and they're up 2 touchdowns.
1st and 10 for the 49. Back to passes going for Colton. He throws over the shoulder. Fingertip attempt at a catch. Did he make it? No, the helmet comes off, though. Boy, what a beautiful attempt at the 10-yard line. That would have been a 49-yarder there. As incomplete coming off the fingertips. I think maybe his helmet might have hit the ground is why it came off that time. That'll be a substitution as well as we try to get the read on the number on that far sideline.
Yeah, I couldn't quite get it. It's a long way away.
Kind of thought that was number 2, James Moore, but beautiful way of putting his body on the line and barely off the edge of the fingertips and hit the ground hard. The helmet rolls off. Eagles are going to deal with the shotgun, handoff around the left end and going straight up to the line and going down hard at the 50. Won't be much of a gain, if any, maybe a forward progress play. Baeza got back to the line of scrimmage on that one.
We'll say I like the call of going deep on 1st down after stopping them like that because that would absolutely be the nail in the coffin if they complete that pass.
It's 3rd down and 10 for the Eagles. Trying to take advantage of good field position from the Clovis 49. The clock's down to 20. They look like they'll get one more play in before the end of the third, up 14-0 the Eagles. Twins left and right. Graham going to take a little bit more time on the shotgun cadence here. Steps back 4. Steps up, now rolls right with some pressure coming at him. Throws it on the run, on the out route. Diving catch at the 36-yard line. That will be a 1st down. Make it 15 yards, make it 14 for the Eagles. And a move the chains. That should run out this quarter. And that, I believe, was James Moore. Yep, but that was Moore. If that is a number 2, kind of bunching up that banana-looking number on the back of the jersey there. So 14 for Moore. And that will be his second catch for 17 yards. The 12th first down. The Eagles knocking on the door here in Clovis. They already lead 14-0. We'll come back for the finale quarter live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. I'll give you 60. $20. $10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
Welcome back. 14-0 your score. The Eagles lead as the 4th quarter begins. And with the call, here's Ty Friend.
Eagles football, first down and 10. They're going to be a handoff, a spin near the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't look like much. We have a penalty mark. I thought somebody got his face mask on that. It looked like his head spun around that time for Baeza.
Got to wait the call. Zebra's talking it over.
Recorded the first game of the 2021 season live on the road. The third game in a row the Eagles had to play on the road to start the season against Clovis. We do have the face mask, what I saw, the personal foul variety. That's going to be a 15-yard. That's some big yards to move against the Wildcats on that one. So no gain on the play for Baeza, but the Eagles will pick up the 15 foul on Clovis on the face mask. That's their third penalty here in the second half alone for 40 yards. They've got 11 overall for 80. And that will move the chains, as we mentioned. 13 first downs for the Eagles. First and 10 now at the Clovis 24, up by 14. Shotgun. Graham fakes the pass left, hands off right. Angle to the right side to the line of scrimmage. Not much of a gain on that one. I think we got a foul from that far right sideline, Coach. Official coming over to talk to the referee here.
More laundry on the field.
And now the far referee on the left side, the line judge, is coming over and talking as well. So that will stop play here with 11:42 left here in the fourth. Hobbs up 14-0. Of course, close game last year, 14-10. Clovis won that one. Hobbs had a last chance to score late in the fourth, but unfortunately could not get it punched in. So they're returning the favor this year. Long delay. Officials from both sides of the field coming together now to talk about this.
And I don't see a flag on the field. The Clovis coaches are 10 yards on the field and barking at the referees.
Yeah, Coach Fullerton now comes out on the field to talk to the head Whitecap referee. Eagles next week will be at Artesia, who was trailing 14-0 near halftime. Carlsbad leading them in that first game of the season. And we'll try to get you caught up on the Lee County scores here in just a minute. Got Eunice and Jal in action tonight. Lovington on the road as well. And Tatum tomorrow in Albuquerque against Navajo Pine. First and 10. I don't know what happened. No call there. First and 10 from the 24. Eagles trying to knock on the door. Fake the handoff. Graham back to pass. Two-step drop. He's going to fire down the middle of the post route. Man open, middle of the end zone for the touchdown. Going to be a 24-yarder for the Eagles.
I'm trying to see who that is.
And that's going to be completed to Marcus Palma, I believe.
I thought I saw 82.
If that's 82, that's Van Landingham, but we'll try to catch that running to the sideline quickly on that one. But touchdown nonetheless for the Eagles, and that's going to be 20 points on the scoreboard as Hobbs taking a major lead here on the road tonight. High snap, though. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Hobbs expanding their lead to 21 points with 11:45 left in the fourth quarter. We're coming back in 60 seconds on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
Clear. $30. Five, 4, 3, 2, go.
Welcome back. 21-0 your score. The Eagles up on the Wildcats. Here's Ty Friend.
Jordan Chisholm, the receiver with the touchdown catch from 24 yards out. His first reception of the ball game and a TD on top of that. Eagles up 21-0, as Coach reminded you. 11:45 left here in the fourth. Hobbs want to open up their season at 1-0. Big turnaround from last year was 0-3, including a loss here at Clovis. So that's definitely how you want to go with hopefully a full 10-game schedule this year, Coach.
Oh, yeah. And, we said it last year. We saw this team really coming together. We're starting to see Coach Stevens' system really starting to work. I think this is carryover from last year.
So, again, big catch for Chisholm in the middle of the end zone. A couple of pump fakes that time for Graham. That means he's getting some time to throw the football.
Yeah, that it is. And he had a little bit of pressure from the backside, but he stepped up into the pocket. He didn't just tuck and run.
So Hobbs up by the 3 touchdowns, getting ready to kick off from the 40 with 11:45 left in the game. Long delay here for some reason. And we've had a couple of these where we thought we had a penalty on the field. We had some long conferences with the officials, and it looks like it's happening again here. I'm not sure what the situation is.
They're probably training people.
And we're still waiting for a signal to the Eagles to get ready to kick this one. They're lined up and waiting, and I don't see any refs talking to any side coaches right now to stop action. As we're getting ready again for this kickoff, it's coming from the left side of the field. And finally we got the whistle to get this thing moving again. Here comes the kick. It's going to be a low one. Sidewinder, bounces at the 15, scooped up at the 12-yard line, brought to the right hash to the 20. Standing out to the near sideline, and that will be it for the return man for Clovis. That's Angel Chavarria, the running back.
Good job on the coverage. I mean, if you're going to have the other team start at the 21, that's a lot better than these little pooch kicks ending up at the 40. I liked that.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their 21-yard line. We apologize for some of the number of absences tonight. It's been very hard to read these yellow banana numbers or lemons that we've seen tonight. We've seen this a couple of years ago, too. I know it kind of messes with the scouts that are here. Artesia, I'm sure, in the box here watching this game tonight. Like, oh, we got to change that number again and mix it up there. But, of course, they're not going to get the number on the scoreboard wrong. Hobbs up 21-0. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 20. Twins left and right. Low shotgun snap, drop, picked up by Acosta. Still tries to fire a dangerous out route to the near sideline on the pass. And getting scrunched between 2 defenders that time, and it goes out of bounds. Jason Garza, but Hobbs doing a good job of converging on that receiver on that near sideline.
Nate Sarasaris on the coverage over there did a great job getting his paw on it.
So an incomplete ball there for Clovis. They have completed 4 passes in this ball game, 3 of those in the second half. They're now 4 of 10 for 40% here in the ball game for the arm of Acosta. 2nd down and 10 now from the 20, or make it the 21. Do you think they're going to end up passing a lot more to try to get back in this one?
You got to go with what you're confident with. If you're not passing well, what do you do?
Shotgun low, dump it on this little angle route coming to the 20. But then as he makes the catch, he heard footsteps. He had a bunch of Hobbs Eagles coming there tiptoeing on him and pulling him down, and he's going to be lucky just to get back to line of scrimmage. Actually, it's going to be a loss of 1 yard.
I tell you right now, I have a new favorite player, and it's Oliver Hill, the big guy coming down the line. You see this 300-pound guy coming down the line, and comes out and tackles the receiver on a screen. You just gotta love it. Gotta love it when your defensive linemen move.
And that was R.J. Nora, their best receiver out there. Only 2 catches tonight. Had a 22-yarder, but that was for -1. 3rd down and 11. Ball back at the 20-yard line. Shotgun, trips left, receiver right. Clapping his hands is Acosta. 3-step drop near the 10. Steps up in the pocket. Rolling right when he gets flushed out. 3 defenders on him. Throws the angle route to the near sideline. Caught him at the 50 and run out at the 45-yard line. So it went from the 21 to the 50 for 29, and he'll tack up more up the sideline. Looks like 29 plus about 8 more for 37 yards on the reception.
And Isaiah Montez right there thought the quarterback was going to run, stopped covering the route, started coming up thinking the quarterback was going to scramble, and then realized the quarterback was throwing and went over his head.
Jason Garza gets the 37 on that one, and that will be his first catch of the ball game. And that will be first down number 5 for the Wildcats. He did get out of bounds to stop the clock at 10:41 remaining, but Hobbs with a 21-point cushion up by the 3 touchdowns here in the 4th. First down from the right hash of the 43-yard line. In Hobbs Eagle territory, though. Twins left and right. Costa takes the shotgun. He's going to throw, tries to throw over the shoulder, but misreads the pattern that time, so the receiver was heading down the left hash straight down the field. He kind of threw it over the shoulder towards the far sideline left, and the receiver just had to kind of wave it off and say, I'm just going to let that one go.
Either way, had he thrown it on target, the coverage was there. Eagles did a great job staying home.
The Hobbs Eagles have lost 7 straight to Clovis, so they're trying to make it a win here on this season. They last won 30-28 in overtime. That was at home, and that was 2013, 8 years ago. So, again, this is a pretty sweet victory for the Eagles, so they can hold on to it. Thanks to Jason Farmer reminding us about that historical note as the Wildcats come up on the line here. Of course, Jason Farmer, sports editor of the Hobbs News-Sun. 2nd down and 10 from the 42. Trips right, receiver left. Waiting for the shotgun is Acosta. And we got a whistle at a delay of game penalty. Second time that's happened in this contest as the back judge for the referee crew throws the flag. And that will be a 5-yard penalty. And I don't think they haven't even used tonight, Coach, the play clock down on the field. Those are blanks. So basically the team has to know when that referee starts moving his hand out with the 5-second count that you only have that much time to throw.
Yeah, but I don't even think he's looking back there to see.
Second down at 15, shotgun. Acosta back to pass, straight back on a 3-step drop. Fade route to the near sideline, overthrows his receiver. The Eagles have a chance to try to INT on the near side. Almost getting a hand on it there was James Moore, and that would have been about a 40-yard reception if any receiver was even close, but Hobbs is the one that would like to pick that one off.
And got a little bit of pressure right coming from the middle. There's Oliver Hill again. Hill was double teamed, maybe even triple teamed, and he just started pushing that line back into the quarterback.
Third down and 15 now for the Wildcats at the Eagle 47-yard line. 10:30 remaining here in the fourth as the clock stops with the incomplete pass. 2 receivers head left, 2 to the right, short side in front of the Clovis bench. Acosta sits back with a running back. He's going to go back 3 steps off the shotgun. Trying to roll right, tucks it to the 50, near side 45, angles to the sideline. Tries to cut it back in, something a quarterback better not be doing too much. He takes a major blow on that sideline. He's going to get, looks like 8 yards, and they might have had a late hit out of bounds here. It looks like a flag coming on that Clovis sideline right.
Well, I'm not sure why it's a late hit. He spun back toward him, and Andre Alvarado just leveled him. I can't see why it would be a late hit when the quarterback was still trying to get forward progress.
So we're waiting.
Helmet to helmet.
Helmet to helmet. Yeah, that's going to be an ugly one. 15 yards will be tacked on this one for the quarterback.
And Andre Alvarado is the one that hustled over and made the play. Unfortunately, sometimes when you're playing football and you're playing it hard, those things happen.
6 first downs now as the Clovis Wildcats will march up to the 27 of the Eagles on the right hash. And the clock at 10:21. Clovis is moving the football, but they got to get themselves in the end zone and get some points on the scoreboard, or they're going to be blanked in this opener. Twins left and 1 single receiver right. Costa will have Chavarria back with him in the backfield to send the slot in motion left to right to reline up on the right side now. And now a receiver left to right in motion. Give the handoff up the middle to Chavarria, trying to ditch outside. He gets across the 25 before being upended. And he'll get about 4, depending on the spot here. It will be 4 yards.
An interesting move. They brought Hill to the bench and replaced the big, huge 300-pound Hill with a very small player. I can't get his number out here. I thought it was 52, which would have been Jesus Mangata, but it doesn't look like he's 6 foot tall like the Mangata on the roster, but they have a speed nose in there now.
Second down and 6 for the Wildcats at the Eagle 24. Shotgun low, picking him off the turf is Acosta, and he's going to get a rodeo throw down to the turf. The quarterback in thrown to the turf, and they have a flag in the backfield. I'm not sure what that will be.
Probably horse collar.
I thought you were going to call that, but I didn't see the hand actually on the neck of the player. It looked like more on the middle, lower back, and you're not supposed to be on the nameplate area either, but that was a close call there, and that's going to be ugly because it will be a half the distance penalty. So they were at the 24, should be about the 12, or at the 20. Where do they start their coach? He was at the 18, so that would be a 9-yard penalty. And that would have been a dead play anyway. Nothing would have happened on that one, but 9 yards on the horse collar. Technically, they call it the horse collar. It looked like he didn't have that neck area or the shoulder on that one.
Yeah. He slung him around, and that's what they probably saw was the end tail of it. I don't know. He was just playing hard.
So that should be a first down. Well, now they're re-putting the sticks up. They got the ball mark now at the 17-yard, or make it the 16-yard line. I thought he had a first down. Nope, they're going to say short. Second down and about not even a yard here. Very short distance for the first. Clock's down to 9:16. Back to pass. They're going to go for it here with a pass on the out route, but the receiver did kind of a quick curl at the 10 and came back, and it looked like Acosta was trying to throw the out route extended to the far left sideline, and miscommunication there for the incomplete.
And Acosta paid for that one at the end. As he let go of the ball, Acosta took a lick.
That'll be incomplete for 9:09 on the clock now to stop it. 6 completions in this ball game. 5 of those coming in the second half. So definitely a better showing there in the air for Clovis here in the last 2 quarters of the ball game.
Big down here for the Eagles.
They've thrown for 89 yards in the contest, 75 of those in the second half. 3rd down and short from the Eagle 17. Up the gut goes Acosta, met in the backfield, and I think somebody might have got a piece of his helmet as they take him down to the turf. It looked like one of the guys coming on late for the Eagles was grabbing the helmet, and that might be the penalty. We'll have to wait and see. He did not get the first down. He was short by about 1.5 yards as the 3 or 4 Eagles getting penetration on that defensive play.
Penalties are killing us. I mean, plain and simple. The only way they're moving the ball against us is a penalty.
That was about 3rd and an inch, if that. Now we're going to try to wait for the official signal here. It would be half the distance, probably, depending on what kind of a issue it was here. Still waiting for the signal. They've already moved the ball up. We don't even know what it's about yet. Personal foul, face mask. That's a half the distance penalty. So that would have been, they got it down to 9, so that would be a 9-yard penalty again. That's back-to-back.
9-yard penalties. That's a new one.
Inside the 9, that's their last chance for a first down. They've got a total now of 7. Costa in the shotgun with twins left and right. Bobbled snap, rolling right with the football. Broken play out of the 10. He has 2 guys on him, and he's out near the racetrack out here, and Hobbs getting a little bit pushy after the play was called dead, and one more shove on him. And luckily he didn't fall down, and the ref would have thrown a flag on that one, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying to be dirty or anything else. They were holding on to him, and hear the whistle, they let go. But as you let go, your weight shifts and it throws the guy.
The best part about it was a -2 on that one as Costa had a bobbled snap, and so he just tried to get the heck towards the sideline to get the clock stopped. That's his first minus here in the second half. He's got 36 yards overall on 11 carries.
Eagle defense here trying to just bend but not break. You've given up all this yardage, but they're still not in the end zone.
2nd down and goal now from the 11. Twins left, receiver right, delay handoff up the middle, and Chavarria trying to angle left, and he evens up the middle of the football field, but the Eagles put down low on his legs and take him down.
Eagles did a great job there getting up the middle, getting that stop. At this point, it forces a 3rd down. Clovis is probably going to have to throw here, and Eagle defense is going to expect it, so I think it's going to bode well for the Eagles.
Chavarria getting 2 on that one. Singleton was the man for the Eagles to get him first to wrap him up and get some help from his teammates. Ball back at the 9-yard line where they started this series of plays. 3rd down and goal now from the 9. 2 more shots into the end zone, and if the Eagles can hold up there, they're going to have a long distance to go the other direction on the offense, but they did a good job of shutting down some of these plays in this ball game. And, again, Clovis hasn't scored yet.
Love to see the blitz here.
Twins right, receiver left side. Shotgun, back to pass. Fake the handoff, rolling right as Acosta. He wants to throw. Waiting for some time. Dumps it to the right corner of the end zone. Hits 2 receivers' hands for the Wildcats. Right corner and bounces off to the right pylon of the back of the end zone. Out of play. Incomplete. Looks like an Eagle defender back deep might have got rattled a little bit after the play.
Yeah, he got pushed by his own player. He went up for the ball, and the other Eagle came over to try to end the play and push him, and knocked them both down.
Clovis 6 of 14 in the passing game so far. And now they're down to one final play of this series, a 4th and goal now from the 9 with 7:55 remaining, trailing by 21 to the Hobbs Eagles, trying to go 1-0 on the season. Twins left and right for the receiving core. It's Acosta and Chavarria in the backfield. Shotgun. Back to pass, 3-step drop. Acosta flushed out right again. 3 on him. Just heaves it up in the right corner of the end zone. It's intercepted out of bounds, though, so it will not be a touchback. But a nice job for the Eagle coverage. The receivers were bottled up, and that will be a turnover on downs as the Hobbs Eagles will turn over the football back to themselves.
What a great show by the Eagle defense tonight. You know, you pitched a shutout right here into the 4th quarter. Then you hold as they come all the way up the field and have like 4 shots from the 10-yard line. You end up holding. A great show tonight for the Eagle defense.
3 punts, 3 turnovers on downs, and that kind of defines what the Eagle defense has been all about tonight. Hobbs down with the football. 1st and 10 from the 9. Remember, the Clovis Wildcats preseason ranked number 3 in the state. Handoff coming to the left side. The Eagles met in the backfield, and 4 purple jerseys on top of 1 white for the Eagles. And that means something wasn't being happening there on the left side in terms of the blocking.
This is a very dangerous area. You don't want to give up a safety. You don't want to have to punt from the back of the end zone. Eagles really want to get some yards here and get a safe place.
Lots of 4 for Royal that time. He's got 4 carries for 10 yards. Second down and 14 now for the Eagles. Back at the 6-yard line, or make it the 5. Eagles checking their armbands as he looked to the sideline, getting the call from Coach Stevens. Shotgun near the goal line now. Rolling right is Colton Graham. Looking for some help. The long out route caught at the 22 and drugged down to the 24-yard line.
First down, Eagles, and they got the space they needed. Now they're in the open field.
Van Landingham picking up a 16-yard reception for the Eagles that time. Definitely a big catch for him to get them out of that dangerous zone there. That's his second catch for 28.
And the clock's rolling.
So Van Landingham, 2 catches for 28 yards. And Hobbs quickly regains their footing here and get a 1st and 10 from the 24. And big man, nose guard jumping off for the Wildcats from the front line. And he almost took out the whole front line of the Eagles on that one because they weren't up yet out of their stance.
We need to get a laundromat sponsor for all this laundry out here, you know. We have to have somebody sponsor these flags.
They can't avoid that one, though. That was pretty obvious.
No. He's 2 feet in the backfield going, oh, what did I do?
15 first downs for the Eagles as they lead 21-0 with 6:35 remaining here in the 4th. 1st and 5 now from the 29-yard line. They have a man in motion, gets the pitch around the left end, 30, a block in the back or a hole, 35 and out to the 39. This is going to come back, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, outside receiver. Guy got inside of him, and he just held on to the jersey. He couldn't let go.
That was James Moore on the pitch coming from right to left off the motion.
So the Eagles here, you know, faced with a chance to really put that knife in deep and turn it on Clovis. Penalty brings you back, and you got to start over.
Yeah, 10-yard holding penalty against the Eagles. Drops them back to the 28-yard line. And bring up a 1st down and 5. Looks like we're going to stop the clock here. The Whitecap not seeing any timeout here as the official's going to have another conference. Everybody's going to converge in the middle of the field, or left hash, actually. 6:20 remaining here in the 4th quarter of opener of 2021.
Referee question for you here, Ty. You're the expert. Wouldn't the penalty be marked off from the place of the hold?
Yes, and behind the line of scrimmage, they even mark it off behind there.
That's why they met, because that's exactly it right there. They didn't mark it off correctly.
So that's going to back it up even more now for Hobbs, back to the 18-yard line. And that's going to bring a 1st down and 15. Get things reset here. Twins right, receiver left. Graham has 2 of his backers splitting him up there. Shotgun. Fakes the handoff, rolls right, does Graham, takes it himself, 25-30, middle of the field, and now close to the 1st down marker. He's going to be shy by about a yard, so 14 yards on Graham. Great fake to the left and then rolled to the right and then gets right up the middle of the field.
And more importantly, great read by Graham. You know, he could have let that ball go, and he could have given it to the running back there, but instead he pulls it, keeps it himself, saw the defensive end crush down, and he ends up taking it for lots of yardage.
He's had 2 14-yarders here in the second half as well, with a total of 36 in this half and 62 overall. Shotgun to Graham, 2nd down and 1. Handoff angle left and spun around to the left hash, dropped to the 30-yard line. That's going to be a 3-yard loss for the Eagles. And losing those yards that time, Jayoni Royal. Nice to get him back this season, as he did not play during the spring season. See, they drop him to the 30, so I guess they're only giving him a 1-yard loss on that one due to forward progress.
3rd and 3 here, and this is going to be a very important 3rd and 3. You get a 1st down, you're almost assuredly going to run the clock out in this possession.
3rd and 3 from the 30, left hash. 2 receivers left, now one to the right. Now they're going to shift 2 of their backfield men to the right side to make it a trips. Graham by himself, another man in motion left to right. They hand it off, coming around the right side. That's Silas Cerna to the far right, 30, 35, and gets toward the Hobbs Eagles sideline, but stays in bounds to keep the clock running. Needed to get 3. Looks like he's going to get about 10 on that one.
Very gutsy call, running with the jet sweep there. You have one guy step up, and that jet sweep goes backwards. So I really commend Coach for going with his gut on that one.
So Cerna will pick up, actually going to give him 9. That will move the chains. That's their 16th 1st down. Mark it at the 39-yard line. Clock down to 4:30, and it's not an ally of the Wildcats, who trail 21-0 to your Hobbs Eagles. 1st and 10 from the 39 for the Eagles in their side of the field. Shotgun Graham. Hands it from left to right in the cross in the backfield, and now going across the 40 and spun around and picking up about 4 on the play. towards the middle or the right hash. I believe that was Corbin, was Thompson, I believe.
I think it's still Royal back there. It's hard to see the numbers.
So Royal will get 4 yards on the play. Brings up 3:50 left on the clock. Second down and actually 3 on that one, so 7 for the Eagles. So they come out of their play call, reset, wait for the snap to the quarterback, Colton Graham. He'll hand it up the gut, and a big scrum pile there for the purple squad. And it looks like that will be another Royal carry up the middle, as he'll move the yard marker above about 3 more yards. So Royal back-to-back carries for the Eagles. He's got 15 yards on the ground on 7 carries so far. And this just kind of a clock runner there, Coach, as we're getting down to the 3-minute mark closely.
Like I said, you get that other first down, that's going to burn another 2 minutes off the clock.
Third down and 3 from the 46. Back to pass grab. Going to throw the out route to the near sideline, but overthrows his receiver near midfield as that pass was intended for Silas Cerna to the near side. I keep thinking that's a 4. That could also be Nate Cerceris, and those lemon numbers are bunching up on that back there.
Yeah,
I think
that's a 4 right here on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And there was an 8 that was a slot back.
So Corbin Thompson, I guess that was who that number was. That's going to be incomplete, though, but that will be a 4th down situation for the Eagles. 4th down and 3 yards that the Eagles need. They're middle of the field at this point with 2:58 remaining. And up 21-0 over the Wildcats. We knew that Clovis came in a pretty young team, but Hobbs missing 5 starters tonight, Coach, including some of their power in terms of their offense. Of course, we mentioned this earlier. Caden Trevino did not get to play tonight, and we'll see when he has a chance to return. But I know when I used to coach, you'd have your team go out there hearing that the other team is missing a starter or something like that. Oh, an easy victory, but a lot of times that backfires on teams' mentality. Hobbs 5 down, but they're still going to get the 21-0 victory, it looks like.
I don't think that I've ever sat in a single coach's room where we thought somebody's injured and we're going to get an easy victory. I don't think coaches really operate like that.
No, I said players, not coaches.
Yeah. I think you start to target things because of injuries. If I notice that you've got 2 corners out, I'm going to start working those out routes. If I notice your safeties are hurt, I'm going to go deep. You start trying to take advantage of it, but I don't think you ever feel like it's going to be easy.
4th down and 3 now for the Eagles. A timeout was called there. We'll keep it right here at Clovis Stadium. Hobbs in the punt formation now. They have punted it once and turnover on downs. A low snap. Kick will be from a 38. And Wobbler is going to bounce at the 25 of Clovis and pops up straight in the air. It'll be down by the Eagles, and that coverage by Isaiah Montez, the senior.
Yeah, Montez did a great job getting down the field, preventing that ball from backing up, kind of overflowing the toilet back up the field.
16.5-yard line. The Wildcats will probably have their last possession of the ball game, down 21-0 with 2:48 left here in the 4th quarter. And, of course, Hobbs will be on the road again next week, taking on the Artesia Bulldogs, a team that they pretty much took care of business against last year with that major win, their first win of the season, 56-27, a 29-point victory. And Bulldogs, last score we had 14-0 near halftime, trailing Carlsbad. We'll get an update before we get done with this one tonight.
Sure, I'd be curious to know what that score is.
Hey, get this one. Raton up 28-0 over Eunice, start of the 4th quarter.
Couldn't have seen that one coming.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 16. Trips right, shotgun, handoff around the right end. Trying to pop it back up on the handoff there to the right side of the field, and getting put down is Chavarria. He was on the right hash. He's got 4 yards for Chavarria on that one. Not very much yards in this second half. He's had 10 overall, 36 in the ball game, so he had 26 at the half. Acosta doing a lot of the rushing chores in this second half of action. And Clovis taking a lot of time in that huddle too, Coach. The clock continues to run with 2:10 remaining.
Not sure why you would do that. You're watching the first game of the season go away against your rival.
2nd down and 6 now. Shotgun, trips right, receiver left. Going to fake the handoff, taking himself as Acosta coming around the left side, then heads back to the middle and is put down on the right hash at the 26. And he needed 6. He's going to get 7, so that will move the chains for Clovis. Just their 8th first down compared to 16 for the Eagles. That tells about time, clock management, keeping the ball in your possession a lot longer than your opponent.
And the only advantage that they have tonight is on the turnover. It's the only advantage Clovis has had.
And that was off a punt return for the Eagles back in the first half. First down and 10 from the 28 of the Wildcats on the right hash with 1:40 and ticking, down 21-0 to the Eagles. Costa with twins left and right in the receivers, slapping his hands together. Hand off to Chavarria up the middle, and he gets wrapped up quickly behind the line of scrimmage as the Eagles read that one, knew that he looked like the go-to man as he was met quickly by the Eagles' pressure up front. That was DeAndre Haynes there first, the junior for Hobbs. That was a 2-yard pickup.
He did a great job, and they almost had him sandwiched. I almost wish they would have arrived at the same time. They could have basically flipped him over.
Clock down to 1 minute left. Clovis just looks like they want to get some running yardage added onto their numbers tonight. Not really rushing this whatsoever with not a lot of time remaining. Second down and 8 from the 30. Shotgun. Delay handoff up the middle to Chavarria again. Just tries to find the gap on the right hash, and the Eagles going to meet him quickly as putting a stop sign up for the Hobbs squad. Aldo Argot, of course, one of the team leaders this year. 2-yard pickup for Chavarria. But, boy, not much. Let's get it up the field for Coach Fullerton as this game is about ready to wrap up with 30 seconds left. Is he going to be happy with no points on the scoreboard?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Hobbs Eagle fans starting to get a little loud there on that far stadium bleacher seat section. The cheerleaders here tonight. Third down and 8. Make it 7 from the 32. Clovis football, last couple plays of the ball game. Shotgun. This time the handoff to Chavarria on the round the right end. 30. Tries to spin, and the Eagles meet him at the wall again, putting him down to the turf at the 33. Like about 3-yard pickup, maybe 2 here.
It looks like Hobbs will get the ball back here, too.
Actually, no, it's going to run out the clock. That ball game is over after a final tackle for Jesus Magunda. And that's the 2-yard pickup for Chavarria with the Hobbs Eagles. A lot of jumping in the air as they come to midfield, winning 21-0 over the Clovis Wildcats to go to 1-0 on the season here in 2021. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You got 3. Good game considering it's the first one out of the chute, man. Two minutes out.
Can we get one more minute added, please?
1 minute. 30.
Please add 1 more minute, please. We need 1 more minute, please.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. 21-0 your score as the Hobbs Eagles have vanquished the Clovis Wildcats in enemy territory. And a big win for the Eagles to start the season, a win over the rival, and a good way to start the season after ending the season so well. It looks like Hobbs Eagles are really starting to get things on a roll here.
Yeah, true. That's the first win since 2013, though. So a very big win for Hobbs to get that open quickly. Close game last year, only losing by 4, but really put it on in this ball game and shutting down the Clovis Wildcats. We'll get the stats here after our next break here in just a second. Should mention, too, Carlsbad leading Artesia 24-6 with 53 seconds left in the third quarter. Jason Farmer keeping us updated from the Hobbs Sun on that one. So that's a good start for Carlsbad. Of course, Hobbs plays Artesia next week on the road. Also, Raton shutting out Eunice 28-0 at the end of the third. But this one here, Eagles had kind of piecemealing scores in this ball game at different points. They had the 1-yard run for Colton Graham in the first quarter, 7-0. Then Van Landingham, a 1-yard run for a touchdown in the third quarter, 14-0. And then a score for Chisholm, a 24-yard pass from Colton Graham, made it 21-0 in the fourth quarter. So I didn't take any major leads until the fourth on that last scoring play, but consistent, especially on the defense, as they caused the Clovis Wildcats really to give the ball back quite a bit. 3 on turnover on downs and 3 punts in this ball game.
Well, when you pitch a shutout your first game of the season, it says that you're going to have a solid defense this year. And I think that's the biggest thing that we've seen change in the last couple of years in this Hobbs program that Coach Stevens is running, is that we're starting to see a more sound and solid defense every game. And we're not giving up the big plays, and we're not letting people grind us out. They get a play here and there, but we play a bend no break defense, and tonight they didn't break at all. They gave up absolutely no points.
So we'll get you the stats here in just a minute as the Eagles winning 21-0 over the Clovis Wildcats. We'll take a final 90-second break and wrap it up here from Wildcat Stadium as your Eagles are 1-0 on the 2021 season.
You got 90. Voting. Ten. 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back from Clovis. 21-0. The Hobbs Eagles have downed the Clovis Wildcats. And a tie friend with the stats here. We're going to go right into it as the Eagles have just completely dominated the game offensively. And at the end of the first half, they had doubled up the Clovis Wildcats offensively. And I think that really opened up in the second half as we had those long drives, and they ate up quite a bit of time. Ty, what do the stats look like?
Well, they got a couple of guys in the 40 range in the rushing game. Acosta, the quarterback, 12 for 43 on the ground. He had a long of 9 in the second half and had a total of 7 carries in the second half to try to get the team back in the ballgame. It didn't happen. Chavarria, their starting running back, 26 yards in the first half, 42 total, so only got 16 in the second half. He was 16 of 42 in the ground game. In terms of the rushing yardage in the contest for the Wildcats, 103 total in the game. So triple digits there, but just barely. Passing department, they were able to complete 6 passes in this ball game, 2 for Nora for 21 yards. And then after that, everybody just getting 1 catch apiece. But the biggest one of the game coming for Jason Garza. He had a catch for 37 yards. A couple other guys picking up 1 apiece. That was Angel Chavarria, the running back. He had 1 for 12. And also getting 1 was Joseph Walker for 5. And finally, one more player. That was Alexi Cox. He had 1 for 14, the first catch of the game in the first half. So they did complete 6 catches, 89 yards in the contest in the air for 192. They were shy of 200 yards in total offense for the Wildcats. Only had 8 first downs in the game. And the penalties really had problem, especially in the first half, although they actually got more penalties in the second, but they were the bigger kind. A total of 12 yellow handkerchiefs for 85 yards. All their penalties in the first half, 8 of them were just the 5 yards, and they had 2 15-yarders in the second half. Again, giving the ball up several times, not really on turnovers, but on punts. They had 3 of those and turned over on downs 3 times. So you got to give tons of credit to the Hobbs Eagle defense in this winning game to start.
Man, you are not lying. The defense did an amazing job. I think the biggest thing I've seen is that we kept outside contained, and you know, they weren't able to bounce anything. We ran everything back to the middle, and then when they did run plays across the middle, the bounce back wasn't there. The second running lane, the linebackers were spaced well. The first one would hit the hole, the second one would get the cutback, and a very solid defensive effort all around.
And the Eagles offensively just shy of 300 yards unofficially of offense. Top rusher was Colton Graham, just like he was last year in this game. 9 carries for 62 yards. His longest was 17 in the first half, had 16 also there, and a couple of 14-yarders in the second half. So, again, leading rusher for Hobbs. Baeza came in tonight as the starter, 10 carries for 43 yards. He had a long of 22 in the second half. Also Royal, 7 carries for 15 yards in the ball game, a long of 7 in the first half. Thompson coming in the backfield, 2 for 17. Van Landingham had a carry for 11 yards. And finally, last but not least, was Silas Cerna, carry for 9 yards. So the Hobbs Eagles with 30 rushing attempts in this ball game, 157 yards on the ground for the Eagles. A very balanced offense in this game because they also had 137 yards in the passing department. The big numbers in the game, Kirkendall, 4 catches for 35 yards. He had a long of 18. Van Landingham picked up a couple of snags for 28 yards, a long of 16, also at a 12-yarder. A couple of catches for Moore for 17 yards, including a long of 14. Thompson had a catch for 18. Also Cerna with 1 for 10 yards. And let's not forget about Chisholm's catch for 24 yards and a touchdown. The Hobbs Eagles completed 12 passes once again for 137 yards. Eagles' total offense, as we mentioned, just shy of 300 at 294 compared to 192 for the Wildcats. Eagles with 16 first downs in the ball game with only 8, doubling up on Clovis in that statistic. And in terms of penalties, we saw a lot more for Hobbs in the second half. They finished up with 11, just shy of 90 or just shy of 100 for 98 yards of handkerchiefs in this ball game. Eagles only punted once and they turned over on downs once. That is a great formula to have. You cause the other team to cough up the ball, maybe not on turnovers, but at least on hard defensive stands, but you also don't cough up the ball yourself except for one punt return that did cost them.
That's true, and you know that was the big thing we noticed last year when we got rid of the turnovers. We did enough on offense to win games. And I think the biggest key here is we were a very balanced offense. You didn't know whether we were going to pass it. We didn't know if we were going to run it. You know, bubble screens to keep you lateral. It was kind of like a pitcher that works all parts of the strike zone. If you don't know where it's going, it makes it hard to hit. Well, it's the same thing offensively. If you don't know where the ball's going, it makes the players hard to hit on the field too.
Coach, first shutout victory for the Eagles over Clovis since 1970, my birth year. Jason Farmer just texted me that from the Hobbs News Sun, and boy, that's quite a few years. What are we talking there? Do your quick math. 1970, how old am I?
Too old to mention, right? Wasn't 70 the
51, by the way.
There you go.
I had to give it away now, right?
What was the year that we won the state title?
Was it 1971?
Was it 70 or 71? It was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, here we go. We didn't,
so we're
you
now
don't
we're
say
here
that
we go.
unless you know the
here
exact
we go. Come on now. I was trying to pull that out of a hat.
Okay, we should also mention, too, Lee County Finals. Raton shutting out the Eunice Cardinals tonight, 35-0. You mentioned earlier that was, 6-7 hour drive there.
Mm-hmm. And I got questions about that game. I got to wonder what happened because Eunice has been such a powerhouse for a long time. Very surprising score.
We also mentioned, too, that Carlsbad leading Artesia by at least 2 touchdowns most of the night heading into the fourth quarter. So that's a big Eddy County battle, though, kind of a rival, not kind of, it is a rival matchup. But,
yes.
Again, Artesia might be starting the season 0-1, and we beat them by 29 last year.
Two unexpected wins right there. I mean, Carlsbad's a tough team. It's hard to say that's unexpected, but, I was about to say maybe we should check the weather report and see if it's freezing someplace near hell.
Coach, next week, Artesia at the Bulldog Bowl. Brand new secondary for the Eagles against a team that likes to pass, but against Hobbs, they've been doing a lot of running, a lot of draw plays to kind of mix it up a little bit. Didn't help much last year. Eagles scored 56 points against them. They still got 20-plus, though. I mean, that's typical for that type of offense. They're just a high-power type deal. Mm-hmm. What is Coach going to be watching in terms of the practices this week and narrowing in on to get that secondary ready for that kind of matchup?
Reps, and more reps. They're going to try to find somebody that can simulate that. So you can try to get your defense in the right place at the right time.
Finally, we did have a later score in the ball game, that Texaco-Jal matchup. Jal was actually up by 13 at the half. We don't have a final on that one. Tomorrow afternoon, Tatum is on the road as they'll take on Navajo Pine up in Albuquerque. Of course, Alan Scott, who's back at the station tonight, he'll cover that live for you with our Lee County football going on. Final score again here once again tonight. It's Hobbs 21, Clovis nothing. Eagles are now 1-0 on the season. The Wildcats go to 0-1. Next week, we'll be on the road with the 6:45 pregame in Artesia. The kickoff at 7, live here on Cool 95.7 and on YouTube. Final words for you, Coach Coltrane, as we head on out of here.
Hey, I have a feeling about this season. I think it's going to be a good one.
Of course, the Eagles got to get the 10 games, and they have the first one in the bag here with that 21-0 win. Thanks to Alan Scott back at the station. Also, Jason Farmer hooking us up with scores tonight. Until next Friday night, live on the radio and the internet, have a great weekend out there.
Nicely done, guys. Appreciate the short post-game show.
Thanks a lot.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Night.